Hello, ladies and germs. Time for the late night boxing talks. The not so late night boxing talks. I wanted to get these out of the way early so I can get to bed early. Because these talks do tend to run on a bit long. Every time I start a video and say that I don't want to be on too long, it end up being like a 3 hour video. I'm going to make sure I wrap it up tonight. Now, very soon in the following month, we're gonna be seeing MMA legend, UFC champion, former UFC champion, former Bellator champion, Chris Cyborg. She's gonna be getting into boxing, which I think is very exciting. And I just wonder if it's a full-fledged crossover to where you're going to cross over, you're going to fight people, you're going to fight for titles, because I actually think she could do very well at junior middleweight. I think she could do very well at 154 pounds and even 147, where Jessica McCaskill has the undisputed crown. And that's a potential crossover fight if you think about it. You know, whatever with Chantel, when they get through that, that's something that they could look at after that. They're like, well, what if you want to have the undisputed on the line with Chris Cyborg? You see what I mean? And that's very exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm gonna be watching. She's gonna be fighting a very familiar fighter, a fighter that I'm familiar with. I done seen Simone De Silva in there with everybody. She done fought everybody. You know, that's the kind of fighter you get to get a couple of rounds in the bank, Simone De Silva. She's been in there with everybody. Like, if you look down her resume, you're going to recognize everybody that she have fought. So that's very interesting. That's very exciting. And I'm like, even though it's her first boxing match, I'm pretty sure Chris Cyborg is going to knock her out. I'm pretty sure. Because Jessica Kamara just knocked her out. And if Jessica can knock out, Chris Cyborg can knock out. So that's something to think about. One of the main reasons that I wanted to go live was to talk about the Mayweather exhibition match in Japan. He's going to be fighting a guy named Asakura. And, you know, whenever he does one of these things, there are always elements that stand out. Shout out to Willie Lynch. Shout out to Smokey, Data. You know what I mean? You know what time it is. Virtuoso, Burry, Drew. You know what I mean? And there are always things that stand out about these exhibitions. One thing that immediately stands out to me is that a U.S. broadcast partner has not been announced. Shout out to my man Drew. Hearn saying no government talking to Fury is telling it is. And we'll talk about that a little later on. We will talk about that a little later on. Jack was good. Rafa, que lo que es? David Graver, Ava. And, you know, one thing that immediately stood out to me is here you have a guy who's supposed to have all this name value, and he doesn't have a U.S. broadcast partner for his upcoming exhibition match. In truth, he didn't have a U.S. broadcast partner for the last one. And no, Fight TV is not a U.S. broadcast partner. Fight is where you go when nobody wants to buy your content. That's where you go when you want to fight. Feel me? That if your exhibition that you're having had any value in the United States, then surely an ESPN or a Fox or a Showtime would have partnered up with you because there would have been value. Hold on, my son trying to get on camera. He's gonna get popped. All right, then go over there. Now, if you know, I don't like my kids being on camera. The internet is not for kids. Just telling y'all that. If your exhibition matches that you've been having had any value in the United States, then a major broadcaster would have partnered up with you and given you something for those rights, the way they did with Joshua and Vladimir when they got together and they fought, both HBO and Showtime. They gave him about $1 million apiece to be able to show that fight here in America and to be able to show the replay. And what you will notice is that for Mayweather's last exhibition with Don Moore, there was no U.S. broadcast partner. It ended up on Fight TV along with a lot of other obscure events that end up on Fight TV. And in all likelihood, this fight with Asakura is going to end up on Fight TV as well, because Showtime don't want to spend no money on that shit. Fox don't want to spend no money on that shit. ESPN don't want to spend no money on that shit. DJ Khaled, Don't blame you. Yeah. I don't like my kids trying to jump on camera. The internet is not for kids. Más perrón para hacer breakdown de boxing, la política del boxeo. La política del boxeo. Truth. That's the way it works. If there's a market for an event that is happening somewhere else in the world, but there's a market for it in America, an American broadcast network will pick it up. That's the way it works. That's the way it is. That's why ESPN picked up Khan versus Brook. They knew that, some people are going to want to see that. They knew some people are going to want to see that. They knew that Shields versus Marshall. There's people that are going to want to see that. So they made sure that ESPN got the fight as part of their partnership with Sky Sports. And that's not saying that they pick up every Sky Sports card, but they did pick up that one because they know that there is an interest in America for that show. Whereas when it comes to Floyd, well, why isn't Showtime picking up Mayweather versus Asakura? Why? Is there no market for that? Because when you don't pick it up, that's essentially what you're communicating. That there's no market for this exhibition match. Shout out to Jay. I ain't watching that. Me neither, bro. Me neither. I didn't watch the Mayweather versus Don Moore thing. And, it's not a knock on Floyd. It actually isn't. If somebody in Japan wants to give him an amount of money to be part of a show, another inconsequential exhibition match where nothing is really on the line, not even the fighter's records, it certainly isn't a title fight of any kind. It's not a crossover on the scale of Conor McGregor and Mayweather, right? It's not that kind of crossover. It's not on that scale. If somebody wants to give you a couple of $1 million to do that, there's nothing wrong with that, you understand. He's not holding up anything by doing that. But it just goes to show you that the name value over time, it has decreased. Because if what you're doing were of any value to an American audience, then an American network would pick it up. It's simple. If they felt that Americans want to see what you're doing, well, an American broadcaster would have picked up the fight, but they didn't. They didn't pick up the last one. Doesn't look like they're going to pick up this one. And it's because nobody's interested in that shit. The market for these exhibition matches is mostly starting to dwindle, at least here in America, because if it were Mayweather versus 50 Cent, if it were Mayweather versus T.I., then you could get Americans to watch because Americans would be familiar with the celebrities involved. But if it's just Mayweather, by himself, and it's not a real fight, it's just an exhibition match, well, people don't want to buy that shit. People don't want to see that shit. Now, if it were Mayweather versus T.I. in an exhibition match, they might want to see that because they want to see Mayweather punch T.I. in the face. Or maybe T.I. could get a couple of licks in. Or maybe 50 Cent. But it's you versus some guy that nobody knows over here, and they only really know him over there in the Far East, which is why you're going over there. That's how that breaks down. Somebody needs to give Mayweather an intervention, sit this man down, and tell him he's so past it, nobody cares. It's sad to see him go down like this. I'm going to say, who, Mayweather? I didn't say I know what he makes. I didn't say that. I said if somebody want to give him a couple mil to go over there, more power to him. But what I know is that no broadcaster picked up the last exhibition match in America. That's a fact. It ended up on Fight TV as I think a $30 or $40 pay-per-view, which is, that's a far cry from, what you'd expect from a Mayweather. Remember, it was like, what, $100 for Maypac? That's what that costed. Oh, my fault, Johnny. T.I. going... No, but I'm just saying that it's the truth. If it was Mayweather and T.I., you could literally do that here as a pay-per-view, and people would buy it. Or if it were Mayweather and 50 Cent, because they have a backstory and they have history and they had a beef. If it were Mayweather and that guy, well, you could definitely do that as a pay-per-view and Americans would be interested. But it was Mayweather versus a sparring partner that nobody knows in the last exhibition. And this time it's a kickboxer that fights on Risen Promotions or Ryzen Promotions as it's pronounced. And, nobody's interested in that shit. Mayweather needs to stick with selling Orby shooters. Yeah, like it's just it surprises me that Floyd Mayweather, given that he is a well-known athlete, has not been able to pin down a at least a B level celebrity, a B lister to do because Logan Paul, that's a C list celebrity, bro. That's not a B, that's not an A, that's a C. You know what I mean? And it surprises me that Mayweather, being as famous as he is, that people do know him, whether they like him or not, they do know him. And you can't get like a Chuck Norris or a Jean-Claude Van Damme or like a Michael Ja White, maybe a Wesley Snipes, to just go in there with you and waltz around the ring. It surprises me because you can make money with that. But then I think that, well, those kinds of celebrities, they don't have to do that dog and pony show to get those amounts of money. And that's probably why he can't get one of them to do something with him. Because movie money is different from boxing money. And movie money, it is different from music money. Movie money, you actually get a lot of freaking money for those movies and those TV shows. So maybe that's why he can't get someone. Like 50, you could sell a lot of pay-per-views with it, but 50 makes a lot of money. He was just touring in Oslo. I believe he was in Oslo over there in Europe. And he gets studio money to write TV shows. So he doesn't actually need to be anybody's dancing bear to make a couple of million. He get that shit right in a TV pilot. So, I just wonder, I just feel like these exhibitions that he's trying to do, it would go over a lot more smoothly if it actually were him and a celebrity, not an old sparring partner that no one's ever heard of, and not a Japanese kickboxer that is virtually unknown in the West. Nobody knows that man over here. So, that's why it just looks bizarre to see someone of Mayweather's stature lend his celebrity, whatever celebrity he has left, to a promotion that people in the West don't know. But like I said, if somebody over there wants to give him however many millions they're giving him to do this, more power to him, because certainly any one of us would probably make the same decision that he's making, to be in a little old exhibition where it's kind of inconsequential and there's nothing on the line and there's no belts on the line. That's not a bad idea, Ralph, to be completely honest with you. It's not a bad idea, to be honest with you. An exhibition with Manny, because they're both retired now and they're both old. And I think that there would be more of an audience for Maypac as an exhibition than Mayweather versus Dangerous Don Moore or Mayweather versus Asakura. I think that, yeah, there would be more of an audience for that, for a Mayweather versus Pacquiao exhibition match. I'm curious, between back taxes and tricking on girlfriends and strippers, is Mayweather hurting for money? Well, I think a lot of people feel that way because that's my wife screaming in the background I don't know why she's screaming in the background. Shut up. God. Shut up! It's the wife. Shut up! You shut up! Sophie, shut up! I'm just playing. Yeah, so yeah, man, like there would be Be quiet! Shut up! Yeah. It's a healthy marriage, man. It's a healthy marriage. Oh shit. No, but just playing around. Yeah, what was I thinking? Yeah, like it would be better if it were Mayweather versus Pacquiao in an exhibition, man. Like it would just be better. But yeah, she's not really mad. She's just being dramatic. I like to tell her to shut up because I know it bothers her. Mayweather Jr. has money problems. In his lifestyle, he can't maintain the same lifestyle that he had as when he was active. And that's possible. Like that's a feeling that a lot of people have, because when you spend a lot of money faster than you bring it in, it doesn't matter what you were making before. It doesn't matter what you made with Conor in the past if you're not bringing it in now. It doesn't matter what you made with Canelo in the past if you're not bringing it in now. The same applies to Manny and virtually every fight that Floyd ever had. That, look, you might have been all that in 2015 and whatever, and you might have made some money with Conor and all of that, but the way you spend money on just pure bullshit and brands, it is possible that you could burn through it, because the overhead of your lifestyle is insane. Jewelry is a waste of money. I'm sorry. And any adult that I see buying jewelry, I already think certain things about your psyche, that you'd literally spend money on rocks that came out of the earth when you could do so many other productive things and make more money with the money you're making from jewelry that is not making you any money. You could buy real estate. You could flip cars. You know what I mean? And it's wild, yo. But, you know, that I've said that. She texted. I'm about to tell her to shut up on the text. Hold on, I'm about to aggravate her some more. But yeah, like you better be kidding. Nah, I'll be alright, man. I'll be alright. Yeah, like, and I've said that before, that like,
you shut
up. Nah, I'm gonna say, look, the most that you can do with jewelry is hope that at some point you can sell it back to someone else. But when you sell it back, are you going to be selling it back for what you paid for it? Come on now. Those watches, those diamond encrusted watches, and just all of... Shut up! She'll open the door in like 5 seconds. Only watches. Yeah, like just a lot of that stuff that you see guys buy, honest to God, it's fucking worthless. When you go to sell it back, if by some chance you end up strapped for cash and you need to sell that stuff, you're not going to get what you paid for it. You're not. Like, no, you're not. Because anybody with that much money to buy that kind of jewelry doesn't need to buy used jewelry from you. They can go out there and get their own custom-made, diamond-encrusted, whatever. They don't need to buy used jewelry. The kind of people that can afford diamond-encrusted bands and bangles and watches and chains, they don't need to buy used jewelry from you. Go get their own jewelry. Ain't nobody gonna shit the bed around here. I heard jewelry is not a good investment, but I heard of people making money off gold bars and bullions, but that's not jewelry. Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe you can have the jewelry melted down and sell it, but like I said, whatever you paid for it, you're not going to get that back. So if you want to spend $50,000 on some frivolous status symbol, that's your prerogative. You know, it is your prerogative, but is it an investment? No, it's a liability. It's depreciating in value the same way a car would. But, you know, people like cars, and people like to buy things to make them feel better about where they are in life, you know? Timepieces do, but what kind of timepieces are we talking about? Are we talking about like nice timepieces or gaudy pieces of jewelry that really are eyesores? Have you seen some of the watches these guys have? I'm telling you, I don't envy them. Melted jewelry goes for scrap prices. Bars and coins do increase in value. Iced out watches depreciate, but the plain Janes always appreciate. Yeah, but that's like if we talking about like Rolexes and not Rolexes that you messed with, that you customized and you added all these gaudy, ugly features. Because I've seen the watches that a lot of these rich guys have, and I'd be happy with a plain old Movado. I don't need 90 diamonds. I like how it all looks as a package aesthetically. I would rather go for a blue face Movado or a black-faced Movado with a single diamond accent than that disgusting looking crap that they put on their watches. It's not attractive. It's not attractive. Now, if you're talking about like a classic Rolex, a classic that you didn't mess with it and you didn't do nothing with it, then yeah, that'll probably add value. Like I've seen the watches that a lot of them guys get, and I'm like, I would not wear that shit. You look stupid. It's kind of like it's kind of like when you try to make a beat and you end up adding too many hi-hats and too many different kinds of snares and too many kinds of drums and kicks. It ends up overproduced. It's like a disgusting casserole. And a lot of those watches, when you see like the watches that the young guys beat, man, I wouldn't want to wear that shit. That shit look ugly. It's some shiny, ugly shit that don't look like shit. It don't look like nothing. The nicest jewelry, when I was into jewelry, is when you can see the metal and the accents and the cuts. Not some gaudy shit that got, oh, he got the diamonds all over it. Yeah, you just look like a fucking childish idiot. Simple as. I didn't say that shit, Smokey. I didn't say no names. The real watch collectors don't buy iced out Rolexes because it ruins the watch value. Exactly. There's no need to do that shit. Like, there's no need. And it's not aesthetically pleasing anyway. Will says there's a short list of items that retain their value after you buy them. Investing is the smartest way to play with your money, in my opinion. And one thing about Mayweather that has always stood out to me is, you know, you can have nice things. It's not even that. It's more like you're still bragging about these things as if you haven't been rich for 20, 30 years now. Like he's been making money for a very long time when you think about it. And, you know, you see other guys, and I often bring this up, you see guys like Jay-Z, and he's not in a place where he brags about money anymore. He's because that's childish. If you're still the same way you were in your 20s, if you're still that way now in your 40s and close to your 50s, yeah, it says a lot. You haven't grown as a person, you know, and you can have money and you can like buying nice things. But the fact that you're still doing things that you were doing 20 years ago, it's like, bro, you look dated. You like a 90s rapper with the big jabot pants and an oversized t-shirt. Like you a nose hair away from wearing iceberg because the shit you doing it just looks dated. I don't actually know that he has money trouble. People feel that he has money trouble because of the frequency of exhibition matches that he's scheduling. That, bro, you're scheduling exhibition matches at a greater rate than active fighters are fighting. For perspective, Mayweather will have fought 2 times this year, and Jermall Charlo will not have fought once. And Jermell only fought once. So Mayweather is having more exhibition matches than there are PBC fighters fighting in a single calendar year. I used to wear jewelry, but I stopped when I realized I like smoking weed. I dig that. I mean, I ain't mad at that. That's an interesting, yeah, you know, I mean, like, it's just, so he's going to do the exhibition match. And being honest with you, there's not a market for that here in America. There's not a market for that. Tracy Morgan looks ridiculous wearing that over. Yeah, I mean, it does. Like, it really does look like it's so gaudy. But, you know, that's just my opinion on it. That's just your opinion on it. At the end of the day, the guy's entitled to wear whatever he wants, and we're entitled to think whatever we want. And when I see people in my age group or above my age group that they're still doing these things that a child would do, it does look kind of weird. And I don't want to hear the, oh, well, I didn't used to have money. Bro, I came from poverty just like you, and I would not do that. I would not waste money on that, because that part of me that came from poverty would look at this as being frivolous. The part of me that came from government cheese in Harlem, uptown, riding the 1 train and the 2 train to go all the way downtown. A part of me that comes from poverty, I'm going to think, nah, I can't spend my money like this. There was a time when I didn't have. So what asshole would I be now to be so frivolous that I do have? That would be, no, I can't do that. So I don't even want to hear the, oh, because motherfuckers ain't had bread. Man, bullshit, man. Frivolous is frivolous, man. Poor money management is a skill. Poor money management is the reason that motherfuckers, they get mad money and then they end up pop just like everybody else. Money management should be something that is taught in schools, particularly in schools where kids like me used to go, because money management is actually more important than a lot of that bullshit they teach you in high school. Like, you're not going to use a lot of that shit in day-to-day life. But money management, yeah, you're going to need that in your adult life. You're going to need to realize that you need the budget and all that different shit. You're going to need that. You ain't going to need to know that E equals MC squared, though, unless you're trying to go into engineering and shit like that. That is my mentality. I ain't even going front. That is my mentality. I ain't even going to lie. What fool would I be to spend frivolous amounts of money on stones and shit from the earth when we didn't used to have nothing? If anything, I'm going to take my money and use it to make more money. But that's me. That's just me. I can't spend money on bullshit. I can't even front. It has to be something, you know what I mean? Did you see the story of the guy who won a 30,000 lottery ticket? Yeah, yo, it's insane. And I don't know, like I said, jewelry to me is one of the biggest wastes of money out there. Like, all of that is so that people will see you, which is a tell. That means you got a fragile ego. You could decorate it however you want. Take the chain away and the jewelry away, you have a fragile ego. You disguise that with jewelry. You want to appear a certain way when you around people. I'd rather be innocuous. Like, if I was like a multi-billion whatever, motherfuckers would not even know who I am. They would not know who I am. Tattoos too, yeah, the tattoo shit. I talk about that shit all the time. Like, motherfuckers just getting them shits to be getting them shits. They just get whatever now. They just getting whatever bullshit. It don't even have to mean nothing. Motherfuckers just getting bullshit. And I'm gonna open up the chat to the panel in a minute, because another thing I wanted to talk about tonight was Goody Rod Rivas, Data Endler. Yeah, I'll be like Adam Sandler, bro. Motherfuckers, I'll be like the secret millionaire and shit. I'll just secretly be a millionaire so nobody asks me for shit. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. And I wanted to talk tonight about the Haney versus Kambosos rematch, right? And what are people expecting to happen afterwards? I wanted to talk about that and get everybody's thoughts as to whether or not they're actually expecting Devin to take on Vasyl Lomachenko. Is that what they're expecting? I don't want any cookie cutter answers. If you don't got nothing to say, then don't join the panel. I don't need no cookie cutter answers. I need people to have genuine thoughts as to whether or not they're expecting Devin to fight Loma, because some people think he will, and I see them all the time. Some people think he will, and some people think he won't. So if you have an opinion on that, join the panel. But don't just take up space, because when it fills up with 10 people, I can't add nobody. No, it is. That's what Dan Raphael said, Kevin. That it's going to pay-per-view because the bid was so aggressive. 2.4 million is an aggressive bid for a fight that may not bring you back 2.4 million. So the only way you could hope to get it back is to put it on pay-per-view. It's Triller all over again. It's what happened with Lopez and Kambosos. That Triller wanted to put that shit on pay-per-view, and I said, people not going to want to buy that. They're not going to want to, because they're getting other fights that ain't on pay-per-view that are better fights than that, or at least as good. So I'm not surprised by none of that shit. I might buy that shit just because I have the money, but And mostly because I'll make the money back by buying the pay-per-view, but shit is crazy, yo. I'm of the opinion that it would be smart to just move up. Loma is mandatory. If Haney wins against George, then of course he has to fight him unless Devin ducks. But that's the question. Do you think that do you believe that Devin is going to fight him? The question. Do you think that Devin? All right, who mic is that?
What's good, Jules? What's good, AJ?
Who mic is that?
Hey, me. What up, y'all?
All right, let me go.
Before we talk about,
what's
go
good,
ahead.
Michael?
Go ahead. What's good?
I want to go to Michael with this shit, and I want a real answer, man. I don't want motherfuckers playing nice with the kid gloves on. I don't. Do you think Devin is going to duck Loma?
No, there's literally no way. They're already setting it up. I don't know if you've seen like the Instagram post. People are already setting up. Bob said he wants the winner of that fight to fight Devin. He signed up for a 3-fight contract. Everybody knows why Loma's coming back from Russia, or not from Ukraine. There's no way that Devin just ducks him. If he does, that like Devin will never really get that respect, because I don't really think, honestly, I don't think people respect Devin enough. And if he does that, that's gonna look bad for him. And I like Devin.
I like Devin too, but there's
Except
certain
when he's throwing a temper tantrum like a little bitch. I can't lie.
there's things that he said. There was a post 2 weeks ago, and this is really what coaxed me to do this, because I remembered that he had like a little tantrum. There was a post, and it said Bob Arum has big plans for Devin, and he wants to put him in there with Vasyl Lomachenko. And Devin quote tweeted it, and he said, "I don't have to wait for nobody. I wanted to fight now." Well, I mean, like, bro, you don't have a choice. You have a rematch clause. So, yeah, you have to wait. All right? Nobody wants you to fight George again. Nobody want to see that shit again. But you have to. In other words, I was getting kind of like static, in other words. That's how it sounded to me, like, bro, why you complaining? You know you got to fight George again. Everybody knew you were going to fight George again. So what you saying? That you don't want to wait?
To be honest, I don't even think I'm gonna watch that second fight. To be honest with you, if nothing's on that weekend, maybe. But I'm not.
Bro, listen. Let me go to JBN, and I want a real answer. I don't want no bullshit. I need an answer. JBN, do you feel that Devin is going to duck Loma?
I don't think so, Julius. I think he will. I think the money will be right. And I mean, he went to Australia to fight George. Obviously, he was confident that he could win because he has the style, he has the skills. But hey, man, going to another country, bro, you could outperform that guy.
That is true.
They could rob you. They could rob you, bro. Like, it could be a literally robbery in the face, even if you outperform him. So he had the guts to do that. I think I think he'll fight Loma.
Isan, is he gonna fight Lomachenko?
Yeah, he'll fight him.
He'll fight him?
Hell yeah. Because besides that, what is he gonna do? Go to 40 and fight Regis Zepeda winner? He's gonna fight Josh. Maybe he'll fight Tio, maybe that. But it's like, I mean, I don't know. I just think he'd be smart to do that big pay-per-view with Loma, because I think they'll put that on pay-per-view maybe. So
did you notice? When they asked him about Lomachenko at the press conference for the rematch, did you notice he didn't give a straight answer?
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. Devin's being, he's saying the politically correct answer. He's saying the right things. He just did it today when he did an interview on Fight Hype. He did the same thing.
Leo, is Devin going to fight him?
What up, Leo?
Leo?
Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is Devin going to fight him?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think Devin, he might move up after this fight.
So you don't think he's going to fight him?
No, I think I don't know. I think Devin's dad knows that that's a bad fight for him, and you can win undisputed.
That's a good point.
You can win undisputed, but if you get there and get watched by Lomachenko, it doesn't mean anything.
That's true.
and I think Devin doesn't give a shit. I think it's Devin's dad. He knows it. And the move might be
He's
moves
country.
up to 114 and fights someone on ESPN.
So this is the thing. This is kind of what I see. Like, if Devin were to not fight Vasyl Lomachenko, right? Vasyl Lomachenko would probably fight for the newly vacated WBO because he's in line to fight for it. But it's just that it's your daddy running around talking shit. You see what I mean? And
Yeah, he's doing
I
a
don't,
he's doing an Angel Garcia.
I don't need that bullshit to where you doing interviews and you talking shit unless it's for a fight. If it's for a fight, then I'm with it. Like, yeah, man, go ahead, talk your shit, sell a fight. You know, do whatever you got to do to sell a fight, whatever. Because I think that they would try to do it as a pay-per-view. But don't jump on podcasts and do all that shit just so you could be like, oh, yeah, well, we going to move up. Then what the fuck was you talking shit for then? So let me go to Avo. Avo, and I'm gonna let Sporting in, so don't nobody else click this fucking link. This link is only for Sporting if he want to jump on. If it ain't Sporting, don't click the fucking link. Avo, do you think this fight is gonna happen?
Honestly, I don't think it is, man. I think wasn't it established a couple of years, like even last year, that Haney was struggling to make weight?
It was, but he got a nutritionist.
Yeah, okay, fine. Fuck nutritionists. Half of the nutritionists out there are fucking hacks anyway, man. But whatever. Like, the point I'm trying to get is, we know he's struggling to make weight. He's already undisputed. I don't think he's gonna risk coming into a Lomachenko fight slightly wagering, because he looked pretty like skinny against Kambosos. So I think he's gonna move up, honestly. I think the downside is, I think that his dad needs to shut the fuck up, much like Tio's dad, because the problem is that their dads, like, again, I think half of the hate towards Haney and half of the hate towards Tio is because of their fucking dads not knowing when to shut the fuck up and stay out of their son's way.
Let me read the super chat. Devin can no longer talk about ducking after that. Sporting, glad to have you on, Sporting. Got a question. In your humble opinion, are we going to get Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko? Do you see that happening? Do you have faith that he'll beat George again and he'll stay and fight Loma?
Yeah, because I think that's what Bob Arum wants, isn't it? And what Bob Arum wants, Bob Arum gets.
I mean, it's a fair point. Bob does want that. He's been very vocal about that. But is it written in the contract that it has to be Loma? We know he has a multi-fight deal, but is it actually in the contract that you have to fight Loma? Can they even do that?
I didn't hear anything about that, unless, of course, Loma signed it too. As far as I was aware, it was the 2 fights with Kambosos, and then they're going to try and do the Loma fight.
So you believe if left up to their own devices, they would willfully fight Vasyl Lomachenko? Bill Haney, Devin, you expect that fight to happen?
I'm not as confident now as what I once was. When Devin Haney was calling out Lomachenko before the whole franchise shit, I think Devin Haney was serious. He wanted Lomachenko. But I think now he's tasted that big payday. Well, I know he's had a few with DAZN, but now he's got a big payday with Kambosos. He's probably going to get another one in the rematch. He's probably going to be the super A side, if that makes sense. Probably like 80%. Then I'll fight you.
But then you know, like, I feel if they tried to do the Lomachenko fight, Devin would get the lion's share because he is the undisputed champion. After all, he's got, he has what Loma wants.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, he wants that big name. He wants a Lomachenko on his resume, doesn't he?
I mean, I hope he does, because I just want it to end. I either want him to beat Lomachenko, because I don't have a horse in that race. I like them both. I don't really like a lot of Bill's antics lately, though. I don't like a lot of that shit. But Devin, the fighter, no, I don't. Devin ain't do nothing. Who might going crazy? If your mic going crazy, fix that shit. We don't want to hear that shit.
Devin shouldn't be talking the way that he's talking, like as if he's ready to fight Lomachenko and Lomachenko don't want it. He's got a damn rematch. That should be his only focus right now.
That's true.
He should be honest about it as well. I have a rematch with Kambosos. Everyone shut the fuck up. I can't do anything about Loma. Let me deal with Kambosos. Then we'll have a look at Loma. That's the only thing he needs to do.
And that's that I feel like they're being dishonest. Like, I feel like when I saw that tweet, there was a tweet and they were talking about how Bob wants to do the Lomachenko fight after the Kambosos rematch, and Devin was like, "Oh, I don't gotta wait for nobody. I'm undisputed. I wanted that fight next, bro. It doesn't matter what the fuck you wanted. I'm pretty sure you didn't want to have to go to fucking Australia, but you got to go. It's that fucking simple." So when I saw that he threw kind of a tantrum, and it's still up there on his page if you search it, it kind of gave me the impression that you don't want to stay at 35 for that fight.
That was my next point. Don't be surprised if we end up expecting him versus Loma, but we end up seeing him versus Lopez.
He won't fight. He won't fight. It's not that fight is not there, but that would not be his first fight at 40. It wouldn't.
You don't think so?
No. Because
Maybe
the
a
Lopez
little tune-up, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm. Now let me go to Virtuoso. Virtuoso, just be honest. If you're cynical, you're cynical. If you're not, you're not. But are you actually expecting to see that fight?
I don't even care if Haney loses the rematch. I just want to say this real quick. You know how people were saying, well, not people, but just Leonard, all roads lead to Tank Davis? Well, guess what? All roads lead to Lomachenko. All championship roads lead to Lomachenko. See, this deal, right, that Devin got, it's not really about him, about Devin Haney, unless he's getting, paid really significantly, which I'm sure he is. But, dude, if you don't face him, ain't nobody gonna give you credit, even if you move up.
That's
so
true.
Yeah. So I don't really give a shit whether he's gonna take it or not. You have no choice.
Let me go to Country. Country, would you be angry if he doesn't fight Loma?
Yes. I believe that he is going to fight him. I think he wants that name on his resume. He wants to try to beat him, and then after that, he's going to move up, win, lose, or draw. Plus, the fact that he has 3 fights with Top Rank and the rematch with Kambosos is number 2. He's got that 1 fight left. Bob's Top Rank, and he wants him to fight Loma. I think it's going to happen. It should happen. If it doesn't, it's going to be a blight on Devin's,
All right, let me go back to Sporting. Same question. Would you be angry if Devin decided to leave without having that fight?
To be honest, in some ways, I'll be disappointed. And the fellow there made a very good point. His third fight is going to be his last fight on Top Rank. You think Bob Arum's going to let Devin Haney defend that undisputed against somebody else who's not a Top Rank fighter?
Fair point.
Yep, exactly.
Fair point. Eson, would you hold it against Devin if he tries to get after? Because so much is said about this all the time.
Hell yeah. Yep. Because you spent all these years saying Loma ducked you, and then you get the George win, which is good for you, and the Loma fight is literally at the table for you because I know Loma will acquiesce to get that fight. I saw him give Tio 1/4 of his purse to get that fight over the line, and Loma has no belts right now. So you have it right at your feet. If you don't take the opportunity, especially when your dad's talking all this greasy shit, then yeah, I'm gonna hold it against you. Plus, we see other guys get called ducks for moving up versus much lesser opposition. Boo-boo. So yeah, I'm gonna hold it against him.
Michael, would you hold it against him?
Bro, after all the shit that he talks, there's no way that he gets away with fighting that without people getting on his ass. I'm gonna be on his ass. I don't even comment on nobody's shit, but I'm gonna be I'm gonna be on his Instagram, be yo, Devin, you're a bitch. I can't lie. I'm gonna be like, there's no way.
He'd never hear the end of it.
He wouldn't, and it would turn into another polarizing issue that content creators, they make videos about. And it'd just be more of the same, which is why I want them to fight. I don't care who wins. If Devin beats him, great. But fight him. Just fight him so it can be over with already because it is nauseating after all.
Loma knocking him out. I can't lie.
Now I'm going to ask you a different question, Sporting. If they do fight, who wins that fight?
I think Loma beats him.
Loma.
So everybody feels that Loma would win that fight.
Bro,
not only that, I think
Diaz was on his ass, bro. Jojo was
he'd get a stoppage. If you look at that Jojo fight,
I don't think it'd be the easiest fight in the world, but I definitely think Loma would win.
But if you guys feel that way, if you see it that way, Do you see Bill Haney allowing that to happen? Because Bill's got to know, like, this is not a good stylistic matchup for him.
Bill's got to
Well,
stop talking that
Because
shit then, if that's what he thinks.
Why is Bill talking like that?
Because
Julius,
he's
can I go?
nervous. Go ahead.
So, we know Bill's a past hood guy. He knows he was involved with a lot of those things. He knows, that when you say some shit, you can't motherfucker's gonna take you by your word. And if you pull some bitch shit like that, you talking all this crazy shit about Loma, he's this, that, and the third, and then the fight's right there and you swerve it, nah, bro. Like everybody's gonna know what it is. It
they're
looks
in a,
like what
they're
it
in a
looks
rock
like.
and a hard place because they
Yeah,
really
he's not gonna
they really don't
he'll
have
lose
a
all
lot of
credibility, I
choice.
think. He knows he'll lose all credibility. And again, if you go to 40, bro, with tougher fights for less money, besides maybe Lopez, I guess.
What choice do they really have?
They don't.
I mean, it's a fair point. Like, one avenue that they might choose to explore, which I think is a complete waste of time. But I saw an interview with Devin where he mentioned him. He mentioned Gervonta Davis, and I'm like, haven't you learned yet? He's not. You don't think he's going to fight Ryan, right? So what the fuck makes you think he's going to fight you?
He lives in a different universe, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
you're the
I
worst.
mean, can I?
Sorry, can
Go
I
ahead,
listen?
go ahead.
You are the worst style matchup for Stank Davis. What makes you think he's gonna fight you?
Literally. Like, I don't like Shakur, and I've said this before, he handled it beautifully. Like, bro, stop asking me about this dude, bro. Like, you keep asking me, and then it's going to look like I'm the one that's calling him out when it's because you keep asking me about him. You know what I mean? Like, y'all ask him about me. Other than that, I don't got nothing to say. And that's how I feel like, Devin need to do that. Bill need to do that. Like, look, stop asking us about this guy. If he want what we got, he has a WBA, Reggie. Let him come after us. He the A-side and all this bullshit, right? So let him come after us if he wanted.
Okay, can I make a point?
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Avo.
As for like the argument between Loma versus Haney, honestly, I think Loma loves jabbers with long arms, bro. It sets up hella power punches by slipping and countering, man.
Yeah,
if all Haney's gonna do, because again, like I'm not saying he's limited, but Haney has like a couple of patterns to his boxing. You guys definitely picked up on it.
Yeah.
And like later on, he just resorts to hugging, and Loma loves being in. He loves that being inside, man. So. I think here's what I think is gonna happen. I think like the first 2 to 3, maybe 4 rounds, Haney he'll have some games, and then like the later half, Loma figures it out and just kind of goes for inside punches. If I'm being honest, that's how I see that fight going.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Leo.
I think Mark told us this before.
I guess you got a phone call.
Sorry. I think Mark told us this before. For me, it's not like Devin Haney has bad parrying game. It's not like he doesn't see the punches coming, because he does this a lot. The leaning under and stepping away. That's a sign for me. When the fight does that a lot, fighters like Bubo Andrade, they do that a lot. They bend the waist and it does a step back. It's not like you don't see the punch coming. You don't want to take the risk to parry on counter. And Devin Haney, at some point in this career, I think might be the Linares fight, he knows if he fails the parrying game, he's going to get caught, he's going to get hurt. So he prefers to keep the fight long in the distance, stepping in the jab. And that's a bad game plan for Lomachenko because Lomachenko knows how to deal with those kind of fights.
He does. I mean, if you like, it's insane to me. Before I pass it to Sporting on a different subject, it's insane to me. Look, I don't think Devin is a bad fighter. I honestly don't. He's a great fighter. You need to be like a Lomachenko type of guy to give Devin problems, because if you're not, he's going to win. He's going to win on points. And look, maybe it's not that entertaining, but he will win. He will win. But if all you're showing is that you have a jab and good timing, okay, bro, this guy's got the feet to stay out of the way of your jab. And you don't have power like Teofimo, so don't bring up Teofimo. Yeah, maybe
Southpaw.
Yeah, like maybe Loma went out there and he didn't throw because he was wary of the counter. But why is he wary of the counter? Because Teo can punch. Devin can't. All right, that's established. You fought two of the chinniest guys in this whole weight class, and you didn't stop or drop either of them. So Loma don't got to worry about you knocking them out. All right.
Can I add on to that? Can I add on to that, Jules?
Good.
I would also just like to say I'm not the biggest Loma fan. Yeah, he's Ukrainian and all that, but I'm not the biggest fan. But I will say this: he's a very complete fighter. He has a little bit of everything. So I think IQ is ultimately going to play a role in this fight. And I think like you said, yeah, he underperformed against Lopez, but like you said, Lopez is fucking huge.
Well, it's not just that he's huge; it's that you have power. Like, yes, power gets respect. Devin doesn't have that, so don't miss me with the Tio. Yeah, Tio has power though, okay, and counters and speed. Now Devin, yeah, you got counters, but it's not on them shits. If you can't stop or drop Linares, who Abdullayev stopped, who you beat. Remember, Abdullayev just knocked him out in Russia. He just knocked him out. All right, Pablo Canon knocked him out. The man gets knocked out all the time, and if you in there with him and you going at it and you don't even. Linares didn't get wobbled in that fight. I'm not knocking him, but I'm being real. Like, yo, you didn't even wobble him, though.
If Loma figures out his style, he'll go full matrix on him.
Well, Haney has this, like, I call it the jab and grab, pretty much. Like, he starts like, and eventually Lomas is gonna figure it out. He's gonna start using that jab to open up counter punches. That's the way I see the fight going. Because if we look at the Cambosos fight, what did Haney do? Jab, 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 jab for 12 fucking rounds. And if he tries doing that stupid shit like that, just like that monotone, boring
it's
style.
Just that it's basic. Cambosos is basic enough that you can undress him with a jab, with a simple jab. Yeah, you can do that to him. But this, yeah, like,
do you see,
I want to go to Sporting. I want to go to Sporting. Sporting, who would you like to see Anthony Joshua fight in his next fight? If it were up to you, who would you like to see him fight?
I do actually have a couple of names. Although I will finish up on Devin Haney real quick, though. I don't see Bob Arum Top Rank allowing Devin Haney to go back to Matchroom DAZN with the Undisputed. I think if he fights a Top Rank fight, which I fully presume it's going to be so, even if it's not Loma, if it goes to points, don't be surprised. Anyway, as far as Joshua is concerned, I like to see him go to China, take on Zhilei Zhang.
For the next fight.
Yeah. Or if not, maybe a Herkovich, try and get the RBF mandatory.
Has his performance against Usyk affected your perception of a Fury fight?
Of a Fury fight? I'll be less confident in Joshua beating Fury, if that makes sense. I would be, but anything. I know people don't want to hear this, but it is all about styles, make fights, and I don't like to say myself, but it's true. Joshua still has a very good chance of beating Fury. I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd have to put the money on the Fury, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Joshua just catches him, batches him, stops him.
Leo, do you feel that way? One, who would you like to see Joshua fight next? And two, having seen what you saw in the Usyk fights, are you confident that Anthony Joshua stands a chance against Tyson Fury?
For the first question, I would like to see him fight the Chinese guy, Zhilei Zhang. In whatever the place. I think it's a good fight for two guys that are coming off a loss. For Joshua being the A side, it's a favorable fight for him to showcase that he still got it. And for the second question, yeah, I can. The thing about Joshua, the difference, Joshua from Wilder, Joshua is offensively more gifted than Wilder. It's not. I'm not talking about power. He's a bigger puncher. I think the punch selection, he goes to the body, he goes to the head, he has an uppercut, he has a left hook. I think he has the necessary tools. If he hurts Tyson Fury, he can stop him. But he has a chance. I don't favor him because AJ has this tendency that even if he doesn't need to, even if the game plan doesn't favor him, he still chooses to box with these guys. And I don't like that for a guy like Tyson Fury. You don't box Tyson Fury, really. You have to press him.
Let me go to Michael. Michael, same question. Who would you like to see AJ fight next? And do you actually like his chances against Tyson Fury based on everything we've seen so far?
Probably Zhang, if anything. That'd be a good fight. I don't think they're gonna do it in China though. Eddie Hearn already said he's not gonna do it as a comeback fight in China. They said it somewhere. I don't remember where that was.
Mm-hmm.
But to the second question, does he beat Fury? As much as I don't like Fury, I still pick Fury to win. But it is a different style, and Usyk is like, he's fucking hard to beat, bro. Like, you can't blame him. You can't blame him for losing that, really. Does he beat? I mean, if Wilder was able to catch Fury clean, I'm sure. And if Joshua hurts Fury, I'm sure Joshua has a better chance of finishing him than Wilder, because Wilder knocked him down in that first fight and hurt him bad in, like, you remember round 12, and then he started doing the windmill shit, swinging at the air. So I don't think AJ is gonna do that type of stuff. AJ can finish you if he gets you hurt.
JPA, you feel that way? Do you think that Anthony Joshua has the pork chops for Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I think he does. It is a heavyweight division, and Joshua has power. He does have like more punch precision than Wilder, and I mean, if he dropped him, I'm pretty sure Joshua could do some damage. So I do give Fury the edge, but I don't count Joshua out. Not at all.
I feel like if I ask this question, I'm going to get the same answer from everyone that, yeah, he stands a chance, but I wouldn't bet him.
I think Joshua would win. I actually think Joshua would win.
You pick him to win?
Yes, I would pick him to win, and I'll tell you why. I think people really do have this warped perception of fucking Fury, man. He is not this godly boxer that everyone makes him out to be. He really isn't. He just understands his size, bro. Like, yeah, Joshua.
You're missing a point, though, man. You're missing a point, and I want to bring this up. Fury is mentally stronger than Joshua.
Do you feel that way? Let me say this. Let me just say my piece. Let me say my piece. Anyone who has to lie, and I believe Fury to be a liar, anyone who has to lie, you're not mentally strong. If you were, you wouldn't be lying. You didn't leave. You didn't leave in 2015 because of what you said. You left because you were being investigated. It's obvious. Like, it's obvious, bro.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what? Okay, aside from the lies, the thing is AJ let Fury get in his head.
When?
And things got to him. When he was saying stuff, it was bothering him when it got to AJ, and it was bothering him. I could see it happening again. I could see Fury getting to AJ mentally again before they get in the ring.
You know what? Maybe because Fury is fucking annoying. He's in my head, and I can't fucking stand him. Like, bro, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. Without the Nandrolone, without the gift over John McDermott, do you even get here, bro?
Oh wait, I got
Julius.
I think people have this opinion of Fury because of how he looked against AJ and not AJ, sorry, against White and Wilder. So, like, I don't think those two equate to Joshua, if I'm being honest with you. We've known, like, again, uppercuts have been White's bane since he came out the womb. Okay?
Yeah.
And fucking Wilder, we've established that Wilder has the boxing IQ of my 5-year-old sister. So I can't like people make these arguments like, oh yeah, he's the second coming, yeah, move like a butterfly, things like, no, he moves like a submarine and hits like a freight train. This is true.
Yeah,
he's big.
I'll tell you something. Fury ain't gonna give up though in a fight.
Okay, and I don't remember Joshua giving up in the fight, especially after he came back.
Andy Ruiz, he got tagged. Everybody was saying, "Man, he quit. He was in the corner." And
I can bring up McDermott.
But I never agreed with if a guy gets knocked down 4 times and he keeps getting up. How is he giving up? Sporting? Did he give up?
Hell.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I might just not have that
necessarily. I mean, he didn't quit, but I don't think he necessarily protested when the referee said that's over. You know.
I think the man was out on his feet. You can't fucking quit when you're out on your feet.
Bro, he was dazed. I don't think he quit.
Like,
You
there's
won't
a,
quit?
look, if Country bashes me over my head and he drops me 4 times, bro, I'm out of it. I can't quit. I'm just out of it. Like, I'm not even here, bro.
Right, well, I said people were saying he quit. I didn't say, you know, that.
Well,
I said,
I'm
That's
saying,
what people say. I
look,
remember
look,
what I
look,
saw in
look,
that fight.
I always go back to this about Fury. Fury is a fair weather guy because you beat Vlad. You did. And because people squeezed you a little bit, not even a lot, they squeezed you a little bit. You know, at the end of the day, you could have stayed home for the rest of the month and not even dealt with none of them. And that would have killed all that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Hold on, fam. I don't view Fury as being mentally strong because everything you've shown me is that you're mentally weak. You have to lie. You do have to lie. You running around here telling people that it was Eddie and AJ that fucked up the fight when, bro, it was your situation with Wilder that fucked up the fight. I'm not even blaming you, but I am saying, wasn't it your arbitration situation that ruined the AJ fight? So why do you have to lie about some shit like that?
No, but why did he call out AJ when he was dealing with that, though? Do you remember that? After the Poulet fight?
Hey, and then Fury's saying that AJ and Eddie are the ones that had turned down like $90 million or whatever. When literally it's because your team and your situation that it didn't happen, and you didn't even want to have AJ step aside at the end of the day. So it's like, why are you lying now?
well,
And it is a lie. It's not me and my channel, and I just be no. I'm not lying. It's the truth. Fury that Sunday said, I spoke to the Prince. The fight is on. Everything's a go. The biggest in Saudi, whatever. Right? He was on camera when he said that. The very next day, the arbitrator ruled, and that's why you didn't fight Joshua, because according to you, the fight was done. So when you have to lie about something like that. You're not mentally strong. Well, not if you're fucking lying.
Do you think that this could affect any kind of Saudi fight with Usyk? Because the Saudis could be pissed off with Fury, Aram, and Warren for digging their heels in and dragging it out for this long.
I mean, Frank did say that they didn't get no offer from Saudi unless that changed. That's the last thing I heard Frank say, that they didn't get. They have site offers, but he didn't say Saudi. He said, no, we don't have a site offer from Saudi.
Can I just say this too? When Fury pulled up, like around in the south of France in Monaco, and saw Joshua face to face, what happened there? Nothing. They just gave him pound. Well, what happened? No shit talking. No, he's a dosser. What happened with Fury? Why'd your energy change?
He did the same thing of Usyk when he saw Usyk in the.
So you got all this time to say all this shit about Joshua behind his back on Twitter and on BBC Radio, but you ain't got nothing to say when he was right in front of you.
That's why I don't that's why I don't have I don't look. To me, Fury is a con man. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can box. I'm not even gonna say of course you can box. We can see that. But there's this illusion that bro, he's not this mentally no. Everything you did was some old ho shit. Oh, people said some things about you. So you gonna leave? When you won all them belts, you gonna leave because they being mean to you. Bitch ass shit.
Let me read the same thing though.
Hey, Jules,
with this whole investigation coming from the Treasury.
I could be wrong.
Say it again, Sporting.
Isn't it like history repeats itself? Suddenly, the Treasury are investigating the whole Kinahan situation. First thing he says, "Oh, I'm retiring."
Sporting. I thought I was the only one that saw that connection. That whenever the going gets tough, he start. Oh, I'm retired. I'm retired. You
literally, bro. Literally.
I'm retired. I'm get the fuck out. And what annoys me is Usyk doesn't put me through that shit. When Usyk about to fight somebody, he just about to fight somebody. No dog and pony show. He's just gonna fight. Simple. He's just gonna fight. I don't gotta act like a fucking retard. I don't gotta lie. I don't gotta do a bunch of fucking videos every day saying nonsense. He just goes in and fights and wins, and I appreciate that. This idea that Fury is this ultimate bullshit, my guy. None of that is necessary because Usyk just made more money than you, not being like you.
I ain't putting him on a pedestal like that, Jules.
No, I'm just for the guys, not for you, country, but for the guys that always have an apology for the contradictions and the sheer nonsense that it's like, fam, it is not necessary to do all that shit. How do I know? Usyk just made 2 times as much money as you, not doing that bullshit.
Right.
Just fighting and winning.
I didn't
Canelo
hear
and
Usyk
Josh
say
have been
nothing
making
about
more
I
money
want
than
500
him.
million. When Usyk was asked a question, do you want to fight Fury? He went, yep. Nothing about money, no nothing. Yes, Fury. I want to fight him.
That's it. Well, this idea, like they used to do that with Broner, and it used to just, it's like, bro, you're trying to defend the flaws in this guy's character behind the guys that he's selling a fight, but you're talking about a regular fight on a premium cable network. It's not a fucking pay-per-view. So when he goes up there and he says a bunch of dumbass shit, you're not selling a fight that ain't a pay-per-view, bro. He's just being a dickhead.
Could I
I've got a
talk?
question for you after you finish with your super chat shit.
Let me read the super chat. Remind me again how many top 10 fighters Fury beat in his career. AJ beat champions for belts. Fury beat Vlad on points for the belts. I think AJ beats Fury easier than people think. Hot takes tonight. Shout out to Mel. I appreciate the super sticker. Go ahead, sport.
Okay. You know that the WBC have allowed, I don't know if they allowed or they ordered Wilder versus Helenius for a eliminator, Ruiz versus Ortiz for an eliminator. That's 4 of the top 10 PBC fighters. They bypassed everybody else. What's your thoughts?
They're on the take. I've always thought that.
Is that them handing the WBC belt back to the PBC?
They're ensuring that belt ends up over there, regardless of what happens between Usyk and Fury. Because think about it.
The winner of that fight's going to retire.
The winner of that fight's going to retire. If Usyk wins, he's going to retire. Where does the belt go after that? Right?
PBC.
If Fury wins, maybe he doesn't retire right away. Maybe he does fight Anthony Joshua. But if he wins, what, he's going to stick around? No, he's going to retire. And where does the belt go after that?
PBC. Pretty much Wilder.
But how much time does Wilder have in the game anyways, though? Like,
well,
2
Wilder's
years?
going to be careful with it. Listen. I don't want to shit on the Helenius fight because I don't actually think it's a bad fight for a guy who just got the living shit beat out of him 2 times. It's not a bad fight for a guy like that, and he is that guy. But truthfully, AJ, we thinking Otto Verleen, we're thinking Zile Zhang, and Wilder gets to fight the guy that Duhaupas knocked out, the guy that Gerald Washington knocked out. It's obvious they're like, yo, y'all play with kid gloves when it come to Wilder, because a lot of y'all feel that he's like the retarded kid that you got to be real nice to him, and you got to be real nice, and you got to reward him and give him encouragement. Bro, it's Helenius, my guy. And to make it worse, it's your old sparring partner, ain't it? You got guys that have criticized Loma for fighting Ortiz, who is his old sparring partner. Well, Helenius is Wilder's old sparring partner, you cocksucking bitch. You ain't saying nothing about that.
They criticized the hell out of Canelo for fighting Yildirim because, it's his sparring partner. He knows how to beat him.
And Wilder fighting fucking Helenius and Malik Scotch, his own man's in them. Tell me that man didn't take a dive.
The guy that was in the Olympic diving team? He was in the Olympic diving team, right? Bro, that was the greatest dive I've seen.
This how Malik trained for the Wilder fight. Like that.
Throwing himself in a pool full of shit, pretty much.
Shit.
Do you guys see his videos with the pads, bro? He looks horrible, man.
Bro, I'm expecting Wilder to end up on Malik Scott's OnlyFans with that girl.
I was about to say that.
I'm waiting. Like, I know that's going to happen. I don't want to say I'm waiting for it, but I know that's going to happen. Now, Sporting, I'm glad I got you here. Got a tasty UK fight. You know what I mean? I really like this fight. I ain't going to lie. Frank Warren, he giving me what I want with this show. I do like this show. I know for y'all it's a pay-per-view. Which show are you going to be watching that night? You going to watch Lee Wood versus Lara, or you going to watch Joyce versus Parker?
More entertainment.
I want to watch both. I want to have this one on my TV, my pay-per-view, and I'm going to watch the Lee Wood one. I want to reactivate my DAZN.
What kind of chances do you give Lee Wood in that fight? Be honest.
A puncher's chance, about as much chance as I gave him against Conlon.
So you're not convinced that he can pull off the upset with a guy like Lara?
Lara's a beast. He's horrible.
I don't know.
He frightens me. He frightens me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, and I didn't know Lee Wood was 33. He looks much younger. I really don't know why Eddie puts him in this fight, man. Because
What the fuck?
He chose this, bro. Look, to me, he should have went after McConlin. I got nothing but respect for Lee Wood because it's like, bro, you don't have to do. I want to call him. Can you got his number? I'm gonna call him. Like, call this off, bro. Call McConlin, bro. You free? He's free. Do it again. It's more money.
Lara's a full board on animal, man. That guy,
Fucking animal, man.
This is
es un bronco, el loco, bro.
Bro, he hit the dude so hard the ref fell down. Do y'all remember?
Oh, yeah, pero no mames. Yo pensé que lo había matado el güey.
Que lo va a matar? Like, bro, that last fight, the Emilio Estevez guy that he just fought, Emilio something. He hit that fucking dude. The ref fell down. Like,
Emilio
shit.
Estevez. That's funny.
Imagine
Man.
Lee Wood's profile if he beats him, though.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, he be like, bro, they have to build him a church over there in Nottingham, bro.
Get that trilogy of Warrington, bro. Let's get.
You know what's weird, Sporting? I don't know. I feel like he has a chance.
Lee Wood? He does have a chance. I mean,
Lee
he
Wood
punches just as hard as Lara.
This is the
He
thing.
has a chance.
This is the thing. We all know what Lara's gonna do. We know how he throws. He is flawed. Now, Josh Warrington didn't have the power to keep that man out and keep him off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he could take what Josh had. Can you really take a clean shot from Lee Wood, though? Because he can punch.
Hey,
He's
you're
got
right
Superman
about that.
Ben Davison in his corner. Let's not forget that.
Lara's chin hasn't been tested, though.
Isn't this guy got dropped by Mick Conlon? And what have we been saying about Mick Conlon?
True.
Which is what it was that was so surprising why he knocked him down. But like, imagine if it was Lara.
Okay, but let me say this. For me, there is no shame to be knocked down by an overhand, because an overhand, most of the time, even if you don't punch, if you throw that punch with everything you got, you're gonna get knocked down.
That is true.
You have to have a really good chin, a really good balance to stand an overhand right from everyone. A straight right, a straight
a lot
left,
of your weight goes into that.
Yeah, a straight right or a straight right. That's a little bit different.
Let me read the super chat. Shout out to Steve Munoz. He says, "Qué bronco to loco ese güey. Saludo el pano." And yeah, like this is why I respect him. He doesn't have to fight this guy. You don't fight Lara willingly. Like why are you doing this, bro? What are you trying to die?
Before, like, as you're a mandatory is the crazier part.
And you know, he said, and I did a video on it. He said that they promised them a 50-50 split of the winner of Ray Vargas versus Leo Santa Cruz. And I'm like, yo, either y'all just
or in writing.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Like y'all just must be the most naive motherfuckers in the world. Y'all think they gonna if they don't vacate that fucking title, they're planning on you losing. You can't see that? That's why they promised you that. Because they don't think you gonna win.
And why step aside for? I mean,
yeah,
I thought he wanted
like,
that fight.
Is like...
I don't know, man. He had Leo by the balls for what it's worth. Like they ordered the fight. I hope they gave him some money.
Nah.
You should have just bet the bullet because, like I said, you're 33, bro. Like,
listen, he had a better chance with Leo than he does with Lara, bro. That's what's crazy. Yeah, you got a bet. Why do you have a better chance with Leo? Because Leo might be drained. He hasn't fought at that weight in 3.5 years. I got Ray Vargas beating him.
Yo, nobody puts together a better card than Daddy Hearn, bro. You see that B-Ball card? It's looking so good.
No, Drew, you didn't miss the Hearn Fury talk about negotiations. You didn't miss that. We're going to get into that. LSC is going to run to the hills. Because that's the other thing. Let me go to Jay. Jay, let's say Lara hits Wood so hard, it ain't nothing but a pile of hair left in the ring after the fight. Nothing but a pile of hair. And he becomes the mandatory. What does Leo do after that?
What do you think he does, Jules?
Vacates.
Exactly.
Run for
he's good, bro. I mean, Jesus. It's like I mean, I just rewatched that fight with the Sanchez guy with my pop, even though it didn't go very long. And like we like, oh Jesus Christ, man, Lee Wood he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
I mean,
He's in big trouble.
I mean,
So
good
I
Lord.
gotta ask you guys, because I know you're familiar with these two fighters, so I gotta ask you. I love both these fighters. I've loved them for many years, and I'll love them for many more. But they're gonna fight, and you motherfuckers gotta make a decision. All right? Ain't no bitches in here, ain't no fence riding in here, right? I'm gonna go to sporting first. Jessica McCaskill, Chantel Cameron. Who wins that fight?
I want to say Chantel, and I believe Chantel can. Yeah, I'm going to say Chantel. Going to win on points. Close
All right.
fight, though.
I'm gonna go to Leo. Leo, don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit me.
No,
Who's gonna win that fight?
McCaskill.
McCaskill.
Yeah.
Spicy. Country. You know what the fuck we talking about. You know who the fuck we talking about.
Oh yeah.
Who's gonna win that fight?
I'm going with Cameron. I think McCaskill might have finally met her match.
You go to JBN. JBN. No bullshit me. Who's gonna win this fight?
I say McCaskill. I got McCaskill.
We got 2 for Cameron, 2 for McCaskill. I like this shit. Virtuoso from my city, bro. Don't bullshit me. Who's gonna win this fight?
I think McCaskill is going to Mayorga her way to a decision win.
That's 3 for McCaskill. Can Jay break the tie? Jay, who gonna win that fight?
Okay. It was announced the fight was announced today, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been trying to strategize in my head of how I see the fight's gonna go. Chantel, as we all know, could box very, very well. Jessica's an absolute nightmare in the ring with that pressure fighting style. She literally just made. Who's the last chick she fought? What's her name?
Bro, she retired that woman.
That's what I'm saying. She made her a chick like that was bigger than her for the fucking quit retire. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know if like how Cameron could deal with that pressure, especially if Jessica lands. So, all right. So here's my take. Let's see. I think that. Oh God, I don't know, man. I mean,
you gotta make a fucking decision, bro.
All right. Gun to my head. I'm gonna go with Chantel. Might change my mind, but for now I'm gonna go with Chantel.
I recorded you, bro. I'm gonna use this in court. Eson, don't play with me.
Really? Oh,
Eson, don't play with me, bro. Don't fucking play with me, bro. You gotta make a decision.
Man, you know where I'm from. You know I don't fuck around. You know we don't fuck around, man.
Then don't fuck around. Who's gonna win this fight?
I got. It's at 140.
140.
I've got Cameron.
All right. See, this is good. I like this because that wasn't unanimous. People had to struggle with it. They had to fight with it. They had to think about it. We got a good fight on our hands.
The 140 is what pushed me over for that. But listen. If McCaskill gets it, I'm not gonna be surprised.
I'm not gonna be mad because I love them both, bro. I love them.
This is a fucking great, bro. And we got fucking Cordina versus Ragnar.
Daddy Herman.
Oh, that's gonna be a good ass fight.
Dude, this is a fucking that's a great ass card, man.
That's gonna be a good ass. Rakhimov throw a lot of punches, bro, and he tough.
That's Fast Daddy for you,
right?
It's not even on pay-per-view, is it? It's free, right?
And they want me, but Jay, we post a Bob Ruiz versus Ortiz.
I ain't buying that shit. I ain't buying that shit.
That's on the other card, right?
I'm streaming that.
Cordina versus Rachmanov is after.
How is McCaskill and Cameron undisputed?
It's not. I was gonna ask.
I'm gonna tell you, Sporting. Now that the news is out, I could tell you. Kaylee vacated.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just?
I ain't gonna tell you everything I know, but she vacated.
Did they?
What?
I ain't gonna tell you everything I know because I know the shit. But she vacated.
It's part of Jules' top alien secret stuff.
You got his sources.
I got it in the secret alien file, bro.
So are they putting?
Is that what happened?
So basically, are they basically putting the other two titles on the line in this fight? Because McCaskill's undisputed up above.
Nope, it's only the 140-pound titles. The 147 is not on the line.
But it says
vacating that,
undisputed super. It says undisputed super lightweight championship.
Super
on the poster.
lightweight, bro. That's 140.
40.
Oh yeah, okay. But oh yeah.
So is McCaskill vacating them belts in?
Nope.
Oh,
I know. It's insurance, bro. If it go down, still got them belts.
Jules, could I ask a
Just like
question?
Canelo.
So, go ahead.
Wait, so
I think Joe Cordina's got a tough fight against Rakhimov. I've seen him fight.
I've seen him fight. I seen him fight JoJo. That's a tough motherfucker.
He's no slouch. I think I'm not confident Cordina wins that. What do y'all think?
But let me tell you this: Joe Cordina shocked me in that
Ogawa fight.
Ogawa,
because Ogawa has a good right hand and he tough, bro. Like that dude is tough.
Yep.
So when the way he knocked him out, it's like if Rakhimov give him the opportunity to land a shot like that, he might take that motherfucker out. And remember, Shakur Stevenson said that's one of the boxingest motherfuckers in the whole UK is Joe Cordina.
No, he said he's the best in 130 other than him.
I would love that fight.
Me too.
Shakur versus Cordina.
Look, there's only one out. It's only one fight out there that I would love for my man Shakur Stevenson. And I would love to watch him embarrass Gervonta Davis in front of 30,000 screaming koala bears. I would love it.
But Jules, Floyd Leonard will never give us that chance.
I know, but I could dream.
Yeah, I know.
I could dream.
I want him in already. I'm not gonna lie.
Drew has Jessica McCaskill winning that fight. I ain't mad at that because it's like the way she is and strong and angry and physical. It's hard to box somebody like that. Like you trying to jab and they over here going crazy on you. So
by the way, has Jessica ever been down?
To my knowledge, she never has.
Never been dropped. Okay, cool.
To my knowledge, she never has.
I've never seen. Cameron's got a mean streak in her too, though.
She does, though. She's and listen, she's spiteful. Like if you fight her, she gonna fight you back. So it's a great fight. I'm glad they made it. I'm gonna be interviewing both. I'm talking to both of their ass. I'm gonna hit them up, talk to them.
Hey, we need that ring IQ gloves. Simultaneous.
We need that ring IQ.
I hope it's simultaneous.
One at a time. Go ahead, Sporting.
Who wins the fight, McCaskill or Cameron?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
The weekend.
You put us on the spot. You better answer, Joe.
Listen, y'all motherfuckers can't make me do shit because I love them both. I can't do that.
You put our feet to the toes. It's your turn.
I can't do that. I love them. I cannot do that. I've been a fan of Chantel since she was with Barry motherfucking McGuigan.
I'll ask this. Who's the better boxer?
Oh, the better boxer? I could say that. That's Chantel. She's a better boxer. I could
Who's
say
the
that.
Puncher?
Jessica by far and wide. She's a way bigger puncher than Chantel.
Who's better looking?
Oh, what? I'm married, bro.
He was already irritating his wife earlier tonight. He don't want to do it further.
Jules, can I tell you something right quick? Just you telling your wife to shut. You know what that reminded me of? Those old cartoons where turn off that light.
Hey, you better hope she didn't hear you, man.
No, look. She an Aries. If we have to fight. I'm a Capricorn. We have to fight. That's the dynamic. We have to a little bit just to keep everything settled. We gotta yell at each other. It's like that. Eddie Hearn is taking ring IQ, sleeping health into consideration by making the Bivol versus Zerto fight time before non-sport. And I haven't had the chance to talk to you about that fight, Zerto and Bivol. What do you think about that fight?
Well, firstly, I agree with your tweet about that Bivol. He looks like he's Zerto's younger brother who's been off to the Shaolin monk temple for a few years. And he's going to come back and show him what he's got.
He trained where man trained.
Yeah.
Wax on.
I think Zerto, I like Zerto. You know, he's a big guy, he's a good-looking guy, he speaks well, he comes across very polite, he's not an arsehole, right? Even though I think that arsehole's in him, I don't think he likes Canelo too much based on the interviews I'm hearing today. But I think he's too slow.
Evo, congratulations, brother. We're happy for you, man. Evo said, kick him from the panel. He just got approved for his house loan. He gets his keys tomorrow, man.
I congratulations, Avo. Happy for you, bro. All right, now go celebrate.
Nice.
Go bust some nuts, bro.
Have a few for us while you're at it.
Yep, hookers on me. Hookers on me.
Now, Sporting, you know, he made Bivol look like a welterweight in that photo. Like, he's massive, bro. Massive. And he has actually fought at cruiserweight at least once. How do you see that fight?
I see it almost like Frankenstein the monster chasing around a smaller guy and eventually getting tired. I think that Bivol is going to beat him on the jab. I think Bivol is going to beat him on points.
All right.
Do you see this as a George Kambosos Devin Haney one fight?
Oh, by the way, is Golden Boy involved in this fight, by the way?
They're involved to the extent. I mean, like, look, it's Matchroom and Eddie that have the deal with the guy in Abu Dhabi with the tourism department. It's not Golden Boy. This is a Matchroom show, you know? And there's an image of that guy on his own Instagram shaking hands with Frank Smith. You know, he's not shaking hands with Roberto Diaz. He's not shaking hands with Eric Gomez. He's not shaking hands with Oscar De La Hoya. He's there with Frank Smith, okay? So that tells me everything I need to know. There's no picture on this man's Instagram with anybody from Golden Boy.
It's just that for quite some time, Oscar De La Hoya was making a bit of a thing, almost like he was deliberately trying to stop Bivol rematching Canelo or Bivol fight somebody else. It has to be Zerdo, and I'm going to make sure I do everything that I can to stop this fight, but he doesn't seem involved.
Well, if you look on some of the posters, not even all of them, if you look on some of the posters, the Golden Boy insignia is there. But this ain't their party. You know, this ain't their rodeo. This is Eddie's rodeo. You know, and he's the one that has to deal with this guy. And it's Matchroom and this tourism department guy that seem to want to do several shows. Maybe, you know, beyond this show. They're the ones that want to do that. So Golden Boy is only involved to the extent that one of our fighters is fighting on this card. That is the level of their involvement.
Hey, yo, bro, you think Abu Dhabi's taking over Las Vegas? Like, it's not going to be the spot for fights anymore? Like, where you get the biggest money?
I think that the problem is, look, this is the thing. The money is there in Vegas, but fights are not being built organically in America anymore. See, if I told you Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia in Las Vegas, it sells. Absolutely. It sells on pay-per-view. It does well at the gate, and it'll drum up business in Vegas. People will go there. They'll want to see the fight. What's the problem? Are they actually going to fight?
Nope.
No.
The one fight that could have made a lot of money, Crawford and Spence at some point.
You have a fighter.
It didn't happen at its peak. It didn't happen at its peak. We don't even know what's going to happen now.
We don't know, and it's still not done. It's still not officially announced for us to get excited and no, still. And we're going into September.
Bro, it's tomorrow.
Like, what really?
So when it's in other words, what I'm saying is the money for fights that people want to see, it actually is out there. It's always been out there. The issue has never been whether or not there's an audience for these fights. The issue is you put on fights nobody wants to see. Andy Ruiz, if he had been fighting more often the last 2 years, a pay-per-view with him and Wilder, ooh, that's great. That's great. But now it's, you know, you're fighting Ortiz. You haven't fought. You fought once in the last 2 years, and that guy's like 53. How is this a pay-per-view? You don't want to do things organically anymore. There are fights out there for Wilder, just Wilder, that if you did them in Vegas, they would sell. But he wants to be protected. He wants to be behind the PBC line. So it's like, it's not the way that it was, in other words. But if you were doing fights that people want, and more importantly, if the managers and the fighters would get their heads out of their ass and stop thinking you're superstars, because you're not. You're not. If not for that, you would see that, yeah, the audience is still there. You just need to make the fights.
you think
And
Heyman
those
has any
fake
kind of
fights-
relationships with those in Saudi or anything?
No. If he
And
did,
those big fights perform smaller fights. Don't
if
you
he
think?
did, he could get those Saudis to subsidize this fight that he's trying to make. They could buy it off of him, and then the burden of promoting it and auctioning off those rights would be on them if he had those kinds of relationships. But he doesn't. He doesn't.
Would people in America watch it at like 5, 6 p.m. due to the time
Well,
zone?
let's put it this way. A lot of people are willing to forgive a lot of things just because it's Al Heyman or whatever. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because he doesn't have those relationships. He just doesn't have them. Now, Bob, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Bob and Fury and Usyk because you know what? You don't have those relationships either. You tried to get the money for the Pacquiao fight in the Middle East for Crawford, and you failed. How are you going to get the money for this guy? He said that himself. We tried to get the 40 M's. 40 M's, all right? Not 100 million like Eddie got for these boys. 40 M's. You couldn't get it for Manny fucking Pacquiao. You don't have those relationships. So it's going to be, and I'm not going to doubt him. I'm not going to underestimate somebody who's been around as long as Bob. That would be foolhardy. But I'm just saying that so far, you haven't shown us that you have those relationships. You don't. Eddie has them. You know, so
He can't even come to America.
Fury can't come to America. And
The only thing he can
what he
do is-
wants, this is what I brought up before. I'm glad JBN said that. Fury can't come to America, at least not right now, until further notice. Let's assume, okay, the guy can't come to America, so the Vegas money is out. And Bob's top rank is based out of Vegas, all right? The Vegas money is out. That fight for what Fury wants for it, it don't make that in the UK. And no, I don't think Fury actually wants a $500 million. I think he wants like 100 million. Well, that's not $100 million fight in the UK. Fury and Usyk, no. It's not. It's not $100 million fight. The only people with that kind of money are in the Middle East. And so far, it doesn't look like you have anything going on with them right now. We'll see. But like I said, you tried to get the money over there once before, and you couldn't get it.
What's a bigger fight right now, Jules? Fury versus Usyk or Fury versus AJ right now?
Versus AJ.
Oh yeah, AJ.
Please
easy.
tell these Fury fans that, for God's sake.
Fury versus AJ. It's still a big fight. It's still a big fight. I don't have nothing against Usyk, but he doesn't have fans like that. Like, no.
Plus, is he really a draw?
No.
But
I mean, I would like to say yes, but no. If you put Usyk at MSG, you gonna sell it out?
Nope.
If you put him at the MGM in Vegas, he gonna sell it out?
Nope.
What if we put him in UK?
I mean, let's be real. It's like nobody even knew who he was before the first Joshua Usyk fight, really.
Now in the UK, they, which is why I like them, they know him. They do know him. So if it were Usyk versus Joyce, you could get money with that. It wouldn't be insane Saudi, UAE, whatever money. No, but you can get money with that because they know he beat AJ. But in America, nah, fam, do you not? No. So that's why I'm very curious as to how are they gonna figure out this situation, because you need someone to bankroll this fight. If Fury really stays in his square, I think what Fury want is 100 mil. If I had to guess the number that he really want, because he playing, he don't really want $500,000.
Wasn't he going to get that last year? He was going to get that last year, right? When the
I think he wants the kind of purse that he was going to get for AJ for Usyk. But the thing is, remember, you was dealing with Matchroom with that. AJ Matchroom, you was dealing with them. They was the ones that was going to get you that bread. Matchroom ain't in it anymore, bro. Not with you. They don't got nothing to do with you. So it's on Bob and Frank and Danny Kinahan to make it happen.
Do you
Isn't
think
Fury
by
out of
any
contract with
chance
Top right now?
Fury,
I think he's out of contract, to be real with you. They said that his last fight was the last fucking fight on his contract.
So that's the white fight. That's 5 fights, right? That's 5.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Do you think he dips out on these bozos and goes to Eddie?
No, I don't think that. They don't like Eddie, and I don't know. Look, Eddie is a cool cat, man. Eddie got me watching domestic motherfucking UK cards, bro.
The man is
Bro,
giving us
that's
good
cool,
fights. I
bro.
don't understand. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
man, there's like
You know
a
that he like. Let me appreciate Eddie Hearn for a minute. I didn't used to watch domestic UK fights. I didn't used to watch them. Out of watching Matchroom and Sky shows, I really got in. Like, yeah, I like them shits. Like, no, it don't got to be a title fight. Long as they go at it, I don't give a shit. That's because of motherfucking Matchroom. If not, I didn't used to watch them shits until Matchroom.
There's a universal hate for Eddie over here, man. And it makes no sense to me. I mean, I get it because of competition, but at the same time, it's kind of dumb.
People in America would much rather pay $75, $80 for a shit pay-per-view than watch a DAZN show that's stacked for $10.
Yeah,
Nah, bro, they just
dumb.
stream it. They just stream it,
I
bro.
got my subscription to the Zone, man.
Me too.
I ain't playing.
Bro, people here would rather stream the Zone even though it's just $20 than just pay $20, bro. Like,
I mean, the only exception for a pay-per-view I'd make is that let's just say Thurman versus Boots was announced. Oh, they got my $80.
No, yeah, I'll buy that shit.
I'll give him $100. Fuck
shit.
that. I'll give him
So I
$100.
can watch Thurman go to the hospital. I will buy that shit.
so I can see one last time Thurman. I'll pay
Exactly.
for
Last time Thurman. For the last time Thurman.
For the very last
Yo,
time.
Sporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, is Box Nation still around in the UK?
It's active, but they don't really put too much on it anymore.
That was
So
the
they may
Frank
put
Warren
on,
creation,
say, for
right?
example,
That was a
fight
Frank Warren
coming
channel?
from New Zealand or Australia.
Was that a Frank Warren channel?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, he owns it.
Oh, well.
By the way, Sporting, while I got you on, could I ask you something?
Yeah.
You cool with Dillian, right? You kind of conversate with him. What's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
next What's his next move? What's he doing next?
Well,
You allowed to say?
before the Joshua Usyk fight, the Down Dubois fight, as far as I'm aware, was pretty much agreed.
Okay.
But now
is that in jeopardy because of the loss?
yeah, because obviously AJ ain't going to fight Dillian White next, and Dillian White, he wants to fight before the end of the year. Joshua wants to fight, but it ain't going to be that one. So I imagine that Dillian will probably go the Down Dubois route, but only if there's no tie-in contract. Because Warren's going to offer him like a 3-fight deal or something like that.
Yeah, same shit.
wow.
Didn't he do that? Did he do that to Parker?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fucking
So he's making him sign multi-fight deals just to get one fight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Let me ask you a question, Sporting.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you about this. You think I got Joyce? I got Joyce potentially stopping Parker. How do you have that fight?
I think Parker beats him, to be honest. On points.
Are you kidding me?
No. I think he beats him.
Nah, I don't know about that shit, bro.
Joe Joyce is he's coming across as a bit of a dick lately, but with Joyce, he's just too slow and he's vulnerable to that stomach. And I still have nightmares when Brian Jennings cracked into the gut. That's exactly where Parker's going to go.
Bro, are you kidding me?
No.
You really think Joe Boxer Parker gonna stop smoking Joe? No, I can't. No.
All right.
No, because then he's gonna keep fighting. I don't want Joe Parker to keep fighting.
Sporting, you're disrupting Julius's alien powers, man.
By the way,
the juggernaut can't be stopped, Julius.
Y'all know that Joe Joyce has a rematch clause. Y'all know that, right?
What?
And it has to be on Sky.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's for the WBO mandatory, which is going to be for the world title, isn't it? Frank Warren has managed to pull off another coup for the WBO.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he doesn't end up like Junior Fa flopping around on the mat like a fish out of water.
I believe in Joe Joyce. I believe in Joe Joyce's long eyelashes, and he's gonna win that fight.
I want Joe Joyce to win. I want him to win.
I just think Molasses has to just put the pressure on Joyce.
Look, he's slow, but he land, bro. He's slow, yeah, but he land them shots.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's why he needs to come forward. He
can't
hand back. I mean, Parker would have to do the impossible to beat him. He has to move the immovable object.
And I feel like Joyce is motivated for this fight. He doesn't like this guy, bro. He doesn't like him.
He don't like that guy.
So I feel like he's motivated, man. He's not gonna come in there out of weight or anything. He's gonna come in there on his shit.
I think Joe's gonna get him, and the reason I think Joe is gonna get him is because Joseph Parker is too polite a heavyweight, doesn't show killer instinct, and Joe gonna force you to fight. And you don't like that. Like, he don't like that, bro. You let Derek Chisora walk back to the corner like 3 times. Who the fuck does that shit?
I do miss the old Joseph Parker, the guy who used to go in there and just beat the shit out of people.
He used to go to the body, yo. Remember when he used to be a body puncher before the Takan fight? He used to go to the body.
Yeah.
Don't do
See,
that
that
shit
old,
anymore.
that old Parker, I would pick to be Joe Joyce, but not this guy. Not this
You know how you say that this is a loser leaves town like matchup? I think this is a Parker leaves town type of fight.
Hey,
I think Dylan White taught him to be polite when
you
he
never
dropped
know.
him.
Sporting might be right. I mean, as
Sporting.
much as we hate to hear
Dillian
it.
White, Daniel Dubois.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, that's a hard fight, isn't it, for both?
It's a hard fight, man. And I like Dillian.
I got a theory. If Daniel doesn't land any uppercuts, Dylan wins.
That fight ain't gonna go past 3 or 4 rounds. I don't think it is either.
He's a sucker for an uppercut, man.
But let's say this, Sporting. It took a lot of shots for Daniel to take that knee, man. Took a lot of shots, like it to catch up to him and beat him into submission. You know, Joe Joyce took a lot of shots.
Yeah, he did. But he landed some a couple of good shots on Joyce as well, and Joyce took them, just smiled.
But you think he gonna lose to Parker, bro?
Yeah, on points.
On points, yes.
Is Joyce 37 now?
I got to turn the camera on for this, bro. You think Frank Warren is gonna let Joseph Parker win a decision?
I don't think he's gonna let him, and I want Joe Joyce to win. And if he beats him by robbery, so be it. I'm okay with that. But I think that
Jules is taking the
Parker's just going to be too fast for him.
Will says, I was on the panel when you asked that question. Never got the answer, but my 2 cents is Parker gets the win due to Joyce being injury prone. Y'all doubting my man with the longest eyelashes in the heavyweight division.
And he 37?
So what?
Somebody in the comments.
Bro, how old was Chisora? How old was Chisora when he baptized Joe Parker?
We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna tell me. You ain't gonna tell me Triple G's too old and then say that so to fucking Joe slow judging.
Here we go.
Wait a minute. If I'm picking, this is the difference, right? Nobody involved in Canelo versus Golovkin has ever been accused of lacking killer instinct and being polite. They're both killers. It's just one is older than the other. With Joe Boxer Parker and Joe Joyce is the killer, bro. Parker is you don't have it, bro. Even with Junior, look, wait, Eson, think about Parker versus Fa and Lucas Brown versus Fa. Why didn't you do that, Joseph? If Lucas Brown can do that to that guy, why didn't you do that to that guy?
Though that doesn't mean he can't win a decision, though. You only win by knockout.
You keep hope alive, bro. Golovkin gonna get stretched, and you can't save him.
Golovkin is gonna get fucked up.
I had to take the chance to take us to shit.
So, hey, somebody in the comments called Joe Joyce Homer Simpson there.
Palmer says Jesus was 33 when he died for your sinning ways. Stop being an ageist. Joe Joyce, motherfuckers. He 37 and he out in this motherfucker. Hey, look, Joe Joyce look like a young guy though. He don't even look like he 37.
What the hell?
He did when he fought Takam. He did when he fought Takam. That put the fear of God on me the way Takam was.
Bro, nobody looked good against the Takam, bro. Parker didn't look good against Takam neither. Neither did AJ.
Until he stopped.
Neither did Chisora. Nobody looks good against Takam, bro.
That's true. Although Christian Hammer for the first 2 or 3 rounds, he was beating Joyce.
Yep.
Come on, y'all kidding me, bro?
Was he not? Was he not landing right hands?
But it's that shit, bro. Didn't you learn from the Dubois fight? Joe eat those, bro. Eat
How
those.
long though? For how long though? That's my question.
Bro, don't act like fucking Joseph Parker got this fucking powerful. Like, he not that, bro. He is not that.
They would have to do a haka dance to summon the powers of the spirits to knock out Joe Joyce.
Just remember, y'all, where Joseph Parker needed all that shit, and he lost that motherfucking Chisora fight. I don't give a shit. He lost that first one. I don't care. I don't care what the judges said. He lost that shit, right? Dillian White put Chisora to sleep. In the second fight, he put that motherfucker to sleep, all right?
Oh, that was a beautiful left hook. Really
all
was.
right? So I'm just letting y'all know, Joseph don't got that killer. He don't got that killer for this, bro. My man Joe Joyce, Joe the Acrobat, gonna whoop his motherfucking ass for selling them drugs to them kids.
See what happened? You got Jules on a soapbox, man.
No, he sell drugs, bro.
And I think that's Dillian White knocks out Dubois, by the way.
Like,
would you say, Sport?
If he
Would you say,
times
Sport?
him, I'm sorry.
I think Dillian White knocks out Dubois.
You think he knocks him out for real?
Yeah. I think that Dubois will get a little bit too trigger happy, and he'll leave his chin up, and Dillian will just catch him.
Go ahead,
He'll still get knocked out with an uppercut. But I'm just saying this, man. Look, Parker could easily time him, of course, yes, because his punches, they look like syrup. I mean, but it's more like promethazine, and they fucking hit it hard when you taste that shit. It's all about punch resistance with Parker and how long can he last in there.
Bro, don't act like Derek Chisora ain't going there in the first round and drop that motherfucker like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all know what would be the most funniest boxing match of like all time in the heavyweight division, in my opinion?
What?
Deontay Wilder versus Joe Joyce.
Nah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. Wilder could win that fight.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joyce will probably walk right into something.
He'll walk in because he was eating right. Remember, he was eating right hands from Jennings. He was eating right hands from Dubois. So that would be the fight to where either Joe Joyce is proven to have the strongest chin at heavyweight, or he goes out like the other guys went out. I'm not saying I'm not saying that anything is definite. I'm just saying that Wilder's gonna land that right hand. What you think happens after that is up to you.
I think Wilder
Parker's
breaks
got
his
that
hand on
lean,
Joe
though.
Joyce's head.
He got that lean.
Say it again.
I think that Wilder he's going to break his hand on Joe Joyce's head.
Yep,
that's possible.
Somebody
That's
said
possible.
he shattered his right arm.
He did.
Has he broken his hand several times?
No, he said that. It ain't somebody. He said that. He broke that same fucking arm. He's had 7 surgery. Oh no, now it's over 7 because when he said that, it was 2018, and he had 2 more surgeries after that. So he's had about 8, 9 surgeries to that same right hand.
Julius, a question: didn't they tell whether injured his hand against Chris Arreola?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Against Chris Arreola.
Yeah.
You're talking about Chris motherfucking Arreola. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they even got Leo stuttering now.
He just said that, but he's no. But wait a minute, he's not wrong. If you're going to injure your hand on Chris Arreola, what, you just going to walk through Joe Joyce? I'm just saying. All I'm saying is this. Like I said before, it's either Joe Joyce is going out on the gurney, or we going to find out that Joe has the best chin in the heavyweight division. It's not a foregone conclusion that Wilder gets him out of there, because Wilder didn't really get motherfucking Arreola out of there. You hurt your hand, remember? And in the first Stavern fight, you didn't knock him out either. And that was, what, 5-6 years ago?
Yep.
I'm just saying that Wilder, he's going to end up having more surgery after the Helenius fight, just so we can get some more therapeutic use exemptions on the Wilder forms.
Bro, that dude's arm is made out of condoms, bubble gum, and metal rods. Ain't no motherfucking muscle tissue left in that arm. And don't forget that as men get older, they lose muscle mass. So he is very much on borrowed time.
He's getting that belt back, I think.
I think he is too. Honestly, because all they got to do, he only fights twice a year, if that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you come back, you fight Helenius. I think he's going to knock Helenius out. I do.
Me too. I agree.
He has the right style for Ruiz. Ruiz is going to walk into that right hand, and that's a situation where we're going to see, can Ruiz take the shot, or will Wilder break his hand? If Wilder breaks his hand and he can't keep him out, then Wilder will be in trouble. But if he can land it a couple of times, yeah, he stands a chance of knocking Ruiz out. Stands a chance.
By the way,
then we're going to have unification, aren't we? WBC, WBO, Wilder versus Joyce.
I wanted to tell this to Sport. Frank and Shelley have made a fight before. They can make fights again. Dubois is in line by way of the WBA to become WBA champion after the winner of whatever retires, right? Yeah. The same thing is going on between Joyce and Parker. So if Joyce win that fight, you could do Joyce versus Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
And Wilder would be the A side.
Yeah, or a Dubois versus Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're probably more likely to do the rematch between Joyce and Dubois, and then maybe the winner goes fight Wilder.
Perhaps that too.
Or Herkovic.
But no, they won't fight Hergovic because Hergovic will probably be at Matchroom, get the red belt, and Eddie will put AJ in there with him to get that red belt.
By the way, Jules, I think I'm the outlier on something. I didn't get to give my take before on Devin and Loma.
I
think Devin could win.
Think he could win that fight?
I do.
It's hard to imagine, man. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all Devin's got to do because he's got a great jab. I know he doesn't punch very hard, and I'm sure he's mindful of that himself. But he's just got to be mindful of Loma's pivots and shifts and his ability to close the distance. If Devin could properly use his feet, utilize lateral movement, and just keep him outside on that jab, landing the occasional just straight right. I think he could win. He could possibly outpoint him, but it's going to be a difficult task. Because if he can't,
it's the volume for me. Yeah, it's two things. It's two things primarily that make me think that is a very difficult fight. I'm not going to say nothing else. Just very difficult. One, this guy's a southpaw, so he's always moving on the outside of your jab, and Devin's jab is his best punch. So if he disrupts that, he'll disrupt everything else you're trying to do. And before you know it, he's going to start throwing combinations, and you are either going to get outworked or you're going to make the mistake you make with Linares, and you're going to actually try to fight him, at which point you'll get hurt.
Yes, because Loma, I mean, we could all agree that Loma, he does. I mean, when he's close, he does damage every time. Every time.
Can I say something else about that fight?
Go ahead, Leo.
Theo, in that fight with Loma, one thing that catches my interest in that fight is that I've never seen really Loma get forced into a clinch in any of the fight. He surrendered into a clinch when he needs to, but he never have been forced into a clinch. When Theo was being hit by Loma, Theo clinches Loma, he closes the distance, and what surprised me about that was, okay, you are not just the stronger puncher, you are the physically more gifted man. You're stronger than Loma because Loma could get out of that clinch. I could fairly say that Devin Haney is not stronger than Lomachenko.
I don't think that either.
It's not gonna get out. It's not gonna get that clinch that easily because Lomachenko is really good on the inside. He can get past the clinch if he needs to against certain level of fighters, and Devin Haney doesn't have the physicality to impose the clinch and get out of the punishment.
His inside game is he's weak on the inside. That's what I see. His best punches are straight punches. When he's managing the distance, he's very hard to figure out. But if you get inside on Devin, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
He's like one thing Loma did in the Comey fight where he was in the clinch. He snuck that left hook and dropped Comey and didn't even see it coming.
I'm not convinced it happens. I'm going to be honest with you, Jay. I'm not convinced it actually happens.
No. I'm not picking him. But I'm just saying. But
just in general to the question that we was what we was talking about earlier, whether or not all of you guys think it's going to happen. I'm not convinced. It seems too good to be true for it to happen, and that's why I'm like, man, that shit probably ain't even going to happen.
But just imagine if it did, man.
If
he outboxed Loma.
Like, Bob, can I ask you something, Julius?
Go ahead, JB.
So, JoJo and Linares touched up Devin. You think Loma has more power than both those guys?
Absolutely. And if they touched you, so can he.
Yep. I'll tell you why, because in Loma's first fight at lightweight, he fought Linares and stopped him.
Yep. And that was a better Linares than the one that's here today.
Mm-hmm.
Was a better Linares. But there's only one way. Look, there's only one way that I could see this happening. Bob has to really incentivize whatever he gives Devin for this fight. Like, I'm talking about, I don't know, maybe you got to give this kid 4 to do the fight. 3 or 4, guaranteed, with the lion's share of the pay-per-view. Because they won't, like, I don't think Bill wants that fight. Maybe Devin, because Devin is young and he's a fighter and he believes in himself, which is something else. But Bill, I don't think Bill wants that for Devin.
I think Devin is adverse because of what he was saying. I didn't know he said all this, like we always talked about earlier. But when he said all this, I think he's adverse, but he'll eventually end up doing it because he's contracted. He's got no choice.
Well, he's contracted, but you got to offer him, like, you can't make him do the fight. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make him do it. You got to offer him something, like something. In other words, you can't offer him George money because he's getting like, what, he got 2.8 for the first one.
And what's he getting for this rematch? Anybody know?
I don't even know. I think it's 2.8 to be real with you. I don't think it's a good deal. I said it was a bad deal. Like, bro, he got to go back to Australia, really? That's not a good deal.
So if he's getting the same amount, then that's not cool. You would think that he won, that he would get more, at this time. You know what I mean?
And remember that he accepted whatever Loma was going to accept. That's what true. Loma was going to accept.
That's where he messed up at.
Well, no, because that's what got him the fight. So I can't even say that he messed up. It's just that this was the only way it was going to happen. That you had to take a deal that was really not a good deal because George, George was flexing. That's what he was doing. He was flexing like whatever's whatever. You got to do things on my terms. That's what he basically was going to do to Loma. And when Loma stepped out, he did it to you. So it just is what it is. But I figure if you got close to 3 for George, right? You probably going to want 4, maybe even 5 for Loma. I would think, yeah. In Vegas at the MGM.
It's understandable. It's understandable.
Plus pay-per-view.
Yep. And Loma's not, he's not going to care how much he gets. He's like, fine, he wants that much, fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because Loma going to take whatever he got to take for that fight. If it's 2, fuck it. 2 then. Fuck it 2. Because I fucking fought Lopez for 1 and some change or some shit like that.
What do you think Loma's going to do if he wins after that? What do you think he'll do?
If it's me, I get blowjobs for a month. That's what I would do.
I mean, do you think he'll retire and just off?
I guess, Country, the real question is what is left for him to do if he were to win that fight?
It's like at the beginning, he'll be 35, guys. At the beginning, so
right.
How long can he keep doing this? Or
like what you gonna do? You gonna chase around Gervonta Davis?
No.
You see what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do after that? Beyond that, if you achieve that, which is what you've been trying to do for about 4 years now, 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So if you do that, what the fuck? You can't go to 40. They'll kill you up there. They will fuck you up.
He shouldn't he shouldn't even be a lightweight right now. He's not even a natural lightweight. He said so himself.
Fuck you up there, bro. And I like Loma and all that bullshit, but you will get fucked up there, bro.
Like George Foreman fucking up a cheeseburger.
No, he won't get fucked up sporting. Don't he get fucked up?
Definitely.
Get fucked up there, bro.
Oh, I agree with you, man. I agree.
Get fucked up. If it's me, I mean, the other thing is, this is the other side of it. He never got to make the big cash, if you think about it.
Nah.
He didn't.
No.
He didn't. Like Usyk just made a fuck ton of money.
Well, he made a fortune, man.
He made a fucking fortune. He made good money at the World Boxing Super Series. He made a fucking fortune off this last fucking fight. Loma never, remember, at 2-6, didn't get to be in no big fights. At 30, didn't get to be in no big fights outside of the Rigo fight, which wasn't that big because you don't make life-altering money fighting Rigo,
Yeah.
And at 35, well, I mean,
Latino was probably his biggest one, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I think that was. So maybe he don't retire, but I don't see what there is. Matter of fact, what am I talking about? Shakur Stevens?
Oh, yeah. Shakur's there.
They'll probably get money for that. Like if
he wins, they'll probably put you in with Shakur.
Yeah, like it'll be like, you know what? Look, you probably took the low purse for the Haney, but we gonna give you the big purse if you defend against Shakur. Yeah. He could do that.
Jules, let me run this by you. Like, let's say you were Usyk, right? And you made all this money just now, like fighting AJ a second time. Would you stick around for Fury to fight him or retire?
I would stick around for Fury.
Okay.
Like you asking me, like, well, I'm gonna tell you, look, y'all don't have to believe me. Just me being a Capricorn. Nah, I don't rest until I get him.
Till I beat this con artist.
That means it's like if you like an artist of some kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you working on a project, the only way I could describe it is like that. When you working on a project, nah, fuck sleep. Nah, I don't want to eat right now. I gotta finish this. I feel like that's where he is at with that shit. Cause you can leave, bro. You can leave, bro. Like, look, man, Fury, suck my dick, you fat bitch. You don't want to fight me. Always fucking making excuses. Now suck my dick and they'll never know. And I'm out.
But it's like my job ain't done till I beat this guy. It's not done.
It's a feeling, bro.
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
Usyk has a purpose in life. That's what.
He wants to be undisputed.
Usyk is a Capricorn, and I know that he probably got tendencies like, nah, I need to do this. Like, bro, I'm cool. If he beat me, I got money. If he beat, like, I got money, and I'm gonna get money even if he beat me. So I'm not here for this bread. I want to fight you, bro. Like, I need to know that I did everything I could. You know what I mean? So it don't look like he motivated by like, bro, I got bread. Like, I don't need you. I made more money than you. I don't need
it's all about legacy this time. All about legacy.
Yeah, like, you know, like he ain't like, you think that man's straight? Like, no, it's more like, what kind of waste of my career and all my efforts and everything I did to get here, and I don't fight this motherfucker? No, we need to fight, bro. We got to do this.
It's not about the money, fellas. It's not about it. This is what it's about.
You think he'll take a pay cut to get that fat?
No, it's already, look, Bob already said it. It's a 50-50 split. What Fury gets, Usyk gets.
And so that goes to the point Jules was saying, like, I wanted to bring up with Jules, like, Eddie was real fucking calculated in that interview. Like, come on, you Dosser. They're not talking to no governments. Because here's the thing. Those guys over there, billionaires, this is how they do business. I've been in enough rooms with them where I went to college. Eddie didn't have that relationship with them until someone on their level introduced Eddie to them.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody has introduced Bob Arum or Frank Warren to those ministers of those sport and recreations in any of those UAE countries. So Eddie knows that they got to come through my guys. My guys are going to let me know what's up, what that fight's worth.
See, this is the thing. What makes it confusing is that Fury is playing games, and we, just us, you know, the people behind the scenes have an idea what exactly he wants. And it's not $500 million. I figure maybe he wants 100 or 150. But even that, remember, if you get 150, Usyk gets 150 because it's a 50-50 split. What, if this is a $300 million fight? No.
I don't even think he gets that much.
You know what? And I said it. I think who was it that asked me? Was it Cat? It was some. And I said, like, yo, my honest opinion, this is a $50 to $75 million fight. The max.
Mm-hmm.
The max. This is not AJ Fury. AJ Fury is a $200 million fight. You can spend that and get it back. But Usyk Fury, come on now. And I like Usyk.
And Jules, the fucking funny thing. And all that's because of AJ. Look at AJ made 115, Usyk made 70. That's almost close to 200. That's 90% of that is because it's AJ.
The corporate sponsorships, the fan base, it's all there. And motherfuckers can hate the Watford Giant all they motherfucking want. That motherfucker is money. Period. He don't need a belt to fucking sell, bro. Send that motherfucker to China to fight Zhilei Zhang and see if that shit don't make money. You fucking nuts? You crazy?
You don't think.
Send that motherfucker to Sweden to fight Otto Wallin. Tell me that shit. Like, you nuts, fam. That dude is money. Period.
Did you catch what I said? They want his sponsors want him to go fight in China.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Jules, what do you think about
a cokehead that his claim to fame is, hey, I'm crazy, right? Corporate sponsor.
Hey man, hey, you know what's funny?
Oh,
we're all gonna be we're all
Crazy
gonna, here's the thing. All the shit that we talk on here, we're all gonna be laughing in hell. Like, this is one of the reasons y'all here. You remember this?
Yep. Yep.
But that's his shit. That's his shit. Hey, I'm a fucking dickhead. That's his shit. All right, look, you running around with a cartel king. You think corporate people want that? No.
You're a
Bro,
closet. But
Probellum lost the deal that they had just struck in the UK. I'm sure Sporting knows, because I think I heard it from either him or Beats. They had like a deal with a TV network for like, I think they said 6 shows, and that shit, just because of all that Kinahan shit.
Yeah, Eurosport, yeah.
Just because of that Kinahan shit. So when corporate sponsors, fam, you got pictures with this dude all over the internet. Now everybody else is like, man, I don't know that motherfucker. but I don't know that who? But you ain't they ain't sitting on the couch with him since 2015 like you is. They got pictures of you when you was still fat, sitting next to Daniel. Y'all mad cool, man. Like, don't act, my God. Don't act. All right, don't act. You know that motherfucker, bro. You know that dude, bro. And we ain't fucking with you, because we don't need that. We got our own dirty shit we trying to hide. We don't need that. We don't need Interpol coming to look at our books. So fuck that.
you know what the next mental health excuse Fury's going to use? He's like, guys, I have to admit it. I've been closeted bisexual my life, and I've been struggling to come out. That's the Jules. You know that's the next
talking
move.
about AJ Dick, bro. Like, that's not normal, bro. Imagine Coogan Cash is interviewing me, and he asking me about Sporting. Well, I bet Sporting has a big cock. It sound right, do it.
You'd be right.
I bet Jay got a big old dick. That don't sound right, do it. But Fury did that. Well, that's a nice cook.
To quote Baba Booey from the Howard Stern show, if there's a heaven, we're not going there.
Oh God.
I'm just saying that Fury on his shit. Look, at the end of the day, this is the bottom line. All right. It's just, and I'm not doubting, I'm not going to underestimate any man that has been in this industry as long as Bob. If anybody's going to find a way, it's Bob, right? But I'm just saying that realistically, Fury versus AJ was a $200 million fight. It absolutely was. But Fury versus Usyk, nah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That you going where are you going to generate that?
Can I ask you this right now? Say they both get belts back. Fury Wilder is bigger than Fury Joshua, isn't it? Fury Joshua. No. Fury Wilder. I mean Joshua Wilder. If they both get belts back, you don't think that's bigger than?
I'm gonna tell you why. No. Look, I'm gonna tell you why. No. A good portion of Wilder's fans are not consumers. You know this. They're not consumers. So
they probably wouldn't even buy that fight. Seriously.
Like, see, Fury's fans.
I agree with that.
Fury's fans fuck with him. Like, whatever's whatever. We argue with them every day, right? But for what it's worth, yeah, they fuck with him. So between the people in America that know Fury, the people in America that know AJ, more importantly, the UK and European fans, not exclusive to the UK fans, because they are known. Fury versus AJ, that's a world event. I used to think Fury versus Wilder, but then I kept thinking about it like, bro, you flopped. Bro. Like, whatever, you flopped, bro. Like, so when they put up 30 for you, you wasn't good for 30? He wasn't good for 30 neither? It's a $19 million gate, and people still lost money? Nah, then I was wrong. Like, I was just wrong about you, fam. I thought that he could have the effect in this country that Tyler Perry movies had, that it's like a cultural experience that brings people together and makes them spend money, which is why I always thought, look, I'm not a big Tyler Perry fan, but the man is a genius. He made a whole franchise out of characters in his mind and made obscene amounts of money. You got to give it to him, right? And I thought that, I don't know, maybe Al can do this with this guy, But when we saw, bro, $19 million gate, and y'all didn't break even. Then I was wrong. I was
Because
wrong.
you know how many millions of people stream the fight illegally? Literally millions.
Millions, bro. So I don't see it like I think that Wilder, I think he'll do okay when he gets out there. Like I always say this, depending on what the costs are, I think he can do between 3 and 4 with Robert Helenius. But that's what he is. He is 3 and 4, 3 and 4.
Well, we saw yesterday at the press conference, only 6,000 people tuned in to watch the damn thing.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Nobody gave
You're
a
right.
shit.
You know what, Joe? After seeing that, I'm a little hesitant to think it crosses the 200,000 pay-per-view, 300,000, just because.
Well, remember it's on Fox.
I know we're
remember
buying
it's on Fox.
Yes.
Remember it's on Fox, and they'll advertise like. I think it will do more than 2, bro. Like I think
it'll do more than 2.
I mean, it'll do more than 2. Like not. I'm not gonna bullshit you. If it does 2, bro, I will feel embarrassed. Like,
I'm gonna buy it. As much as I give.
No, I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I am. Like, I'm not even gonna bullshit. Like, yeah, I'll buy this. So yes, all right, I'll buy it.
I'm buying it because I heard y'all do know if Wilder gets knocked out by Helenius, Jules said he's running around naked and going on live 24 hours.
I'm gonna fly to the UK and run down Watford ass naked.
We'll hold you to that.
No, he's gonna do a live right from Alabama in front of the statue of Wilder too. After that,
he's gonna run down naked in front of the statue of Wilder.
Hey, Jules. Hey, Jules, did you see Errol Spence's tweet where he said Rolly used to be so humble and kind?
Yeah, I seen that, but Rolly's a retard, man. Like,
I mean, Rolly, that's what you got to know. He's right though, because as soon as that camera get in front of some of these fighters' face and they get a little shine, they just fucking they get more addicted to the limelight.
Rolly reminds me of the Kardashians, and here's why.
Oh boy,
there used to be a meme: stop making untalented people famous. Rolly is that, bro. You're not a good boxer. No, you not. The only reason people talk about you is because they think you fucking retarded. That's it. It's not because of how you box.
Yep.
Legit. It's not because of how you box.
Well, like, did y'all catch Wilder's interview where he said that I think he was I turned it off after this, but he was saying like how he's a legend and he got a statue, and I'm like, Rocky Balboa got a statue.
Man, listen, man.
How he's getting immortalized and shit. Oscar De La Hoya's got a statue.
I'm not. No, you know what? Let me tell you the truth. If you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Wilder is a giant to you, and I respect that. I do respect that. That when you a young kid, if you in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, you probably don't ever figure you'll do anything on a world stage, and we can say that Wilder did that. I'll give him that much.
Yeah.
And if you're from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, he's giving young kids that are from there something to shoot for. I won't take that away from him. Is he a legend in the Foreman sense of the word? No. But he's a local legend, and I'll give him that. I will give him that.
I mean, Jules, I can
here's the thing, like with Wilder, like I give Wilder the respect of you stepped in the ring, you didn't make no excuses to provide for your family. What I don't have to accept is your delusion and you spewing your opinion like it's truth and ignoring facts. That's where I don't have to respect you.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean, Joe? Like,
no. I mean, I get it. Like, I don't think. Look, he's as far as I don't respect liars, and that's a very big thing for me. Without giving a whole speech about it, I don't respect that shit at all in any capacity. And the fact that I feel you tried to drag this man's name in the mud because you were jealous of him. He was jealous of AJ. You still jealous of AJ. Failures and all, you still jealous of that dude. Because when you went there and you seen how many people showed up to root him on in the Klitschko fight, that's where the jealousy started, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't respect that bitch ass shit. Like, nah, I don't because if you wanted that shit, you should have fought Vlad. You were around before AJ. You could have got him in the ring if you wanted him, but you didn't. You was a baby champion, remember? baby.
Or guess what? You could have
And
fought
then on
AJ
top
several
of that,
times. If you don't like him that
Jules-
much, fight AJ and beat him.
Hey,
with how
Jules.
he talked about AJ, then the Mark Breland was the icing on the cake.
Yep, how he did him. How he did
Put
him.
Mark Breland under the bus.
Yep.
Don
That's
Ramon the
some
champ
bullshit.
says, "Can you make excuses for Wilder's twerking video, though?"
Who did?
What?
Don Ramon the champ. That was his comment. He says, "Can you make excuses for Wilder's twerking video, though?"
Nah, I mean, look, like I said, Wilder, look, man, like just it's a lot of shit that certain cats do that, bro.
You ain't even got to say it, Jules. We know.
Like that shit is not. It's not. And I don't come from that where you like I don't come like fam. What the fuck are you doing? What would my grandfather say if he was alive and he seen me doing some shit like that?
Oh boy!
Out of all the fighters who've got
for those
statues,
that try to
Wilder's the only
say it,
one who's ever kissed his own
Hold
statue.
on. Go ahead, Spoiler.
So out of all the fighters who have got statues, Wilder is the only one that I've ever seen kiss the damn thing on the mouth. Not even Rocky Balboa did that shit.
He didn't.
And there's a stark difference between Usyk's dancing videos and Wilder's.
Yes.
You know that Oscar has a statue. I didn't see him try to make out with the shit about, and I would have thought that if anybody was going to make out with a statue of themselves, it would have been Oscar. Apparently, he's Wilder.
Hey, fellas, just imagine what he probably did to it when nobody was around. Like,
he probably drove back there late at night.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's the
listen.
question.
The thing about Oscar was Oscar was doing it with a woman.
Does the statue have fishnets too?
Hey, y'all gonna leave Oscar alone, y'all. Stop it.
Probably put them shits on like right to this shit. But now some real shit. Look, man, like being real. Look, Oscar is. I mean, fucking Oscar. Oscar's a for real legend. Motherfuckers can say what they want, and I don't even like Oscar. But that's like he's not just an East LA legend. Like he a boxing legend.
Yeah, he is.
Wilder
is an ATG.
I liked Oscar the fighter, but not.
I mean, honestly, like the dude has one of the best resumes I've ever seen. Like
it's legends. Like, look, when you hear the story of Bernard Hopkins, that's some legendary shit, bro. This dude learned how to box in prison to get to this point where he got to. That's crazy.
And he beat Oscar with a mean body shot.
Folded his ass up like a patio chair.
Yeah.
It's guys that's legends. Like they did things that were legendary that you could say, like, look, James Toney. We was talking about James yesterday. That man went all the way up to heavyweight. They couldn't knock this motherfucker out, bro.
No,
they couldn't. Roy, when Roy was Roy, bro, you couldn't touch him. That's legend shit. Wilder, what's your legend shit? Being real, what is your legend shit? What?
Making excuses after a loss?
It's not. I'm gonna tell you that. Look, it's not knockouts because you don't hold no records as a knockout artist. Shannon Briggs holds a record, the most first round knockouts. Shannon Briggs holds that record. What record do you hold that is legendary? What?
Right.
The only heavyweight champion wants to be pregnant. That's gonna be the only record.
Do me a favor. Can someone listen to this? The photoshopping experts on the panel. Can you take a picture of Wilder and Photoshop it over the junior cover of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito? And who would be Arnold's Danny DeVito in that movie? Who would be Wilder's Danny
Mark
DeVito?
Scott.
Malik Scott, bro. That's his roadie, bro. That's
Someone
like the day that Wilder's old enough that he can't wipe his ass. Malik won't be there.
Oh, come on, dude. Damn.
Does he really have an OnlyFans?
Yeah, with his girlfriend. Like, that's legit, bro.
Oh,
the shit they wanted to post for Instagram was too spicy, so they had to start posting it on OnlyFans. Legit. Now, on that note, gentlemen, time for me to go to sleep.
Wait, Jules, wait, but before you go, hold on.
The footwork, the speed, the IQ.
All right, now y'all.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
I'll let y'all Sporting. Thanks for jumping on, Sporting.
Night,
Take care,
fellas.
guys. Thank you.
Night, guys.
Night,
Jules,
fellas.
thanks for having me on. Have a good